And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another broadcast here on the CranKy Ducklings. Welcome to the Fire Cup Group A. Fire Cup number 4, of course. I'm your host, Live VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, the people in the chat, and these lovely plushies as well. Welcome, one and all. I do apologize for the abrupt start to the stream. We did, for a moment, we did for a while there, think that the stream did begin in an hour's time, but alas, it did begin here, and now we are jumping into our first series of the night. We're jumping into our first of many best of threes. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Clan Archive. It is Protoss, or Protoss Aver. Protoss Aver. There we go. But welcome one and all. It has been far too long. Of course, we were live earlier with Master Swan Open, and now we are here with Fire Cup number 4. Big shout out to Middle VK. Middle VK has been organizing and hosting this event on a monthly basis for the past 4 months, and now we are here. Now we are here. Now we are live. Now we have joined as the English broadcast to bring you the group stage and the eventual playoffs, the finale here of Fire Cup. If you're curious what this event is, it is an event focused for the CIS region. We have plenty of amazing players that are rising up here to the challenge through the group stage into the rest of the event. Going over the overall groups, we have players like Nick Rat, we have Young Yako, we have UED Soldier, we have Art as well, Wayne, Nicked, Shameless, and many others as well. So we will be going through that after this first series. We'll get into it. We will get into it. For the time being, though, it is going to be the initial 2 racks. Oh, interesting. It's going to be a rack expand here with a second racks on the way. This looks like the beginning here of a 3 racks. Oh boy. So 3 racks opener from our Terran player. Meanwhile, Shameless back at home going to a gate expand into his own standard opener. We can settle in. Settle in from here, just making sure that everything is good on our end, hopefully. Make sure everything is as it should be. Beautiful. As behind this, it is going to be a rover base opener here from Shameless. I mean, checking the vision, Shameless, he does see the Marine counts. He has yet to really confirm much else. As we did say earlier, it is going to be a 3 racks opener here, or I should say a 3 racks follow-up. A very heavy bio army. It's going to be a stim timing from Protoss Aver, and Shameless back at home thankfully did open up Robo. Robo is a very safe way to play, very safe way to open up in TVP. Doesn't mean that you have much map control, but it does mean you have access to fast immortal production and fast immortal production, as well as fast Colossus production potentially as well. Here we go. So just setting up, just fixing up the title. Of course, before this, our last event that we casted live was Alima League. We had Alima League. We had, of course, MSO as well. Podcast. Just getting back into it, making sure all is as it should be. Just making sure. Meanwhile, we don't quite get a full scout into the main. I believe Protoss Aver, yeah, he hasn't seen anything. He hasn't seen anything at all across the map, so no Reaper scout, no SCV scout. Protoss Aver doesn't really know what he's going to be pushing into yet. He's still just building up. He's still just massing up an army here. More Marines, more Marauders. Stim and Combat Shields is almost done. Once it does finish up, then we're going to be sending everything across the map. We're just going to be rallying everything we can, moving out. There's a scan into the main, and now Protoss Aver, now he knows. Now he knows about the Robo. Now he is aware of the potential Immortal production. Immortals are amassing as we speak. Already 1 Immortal, soon to be 2. And as time goes on, it's going to get better and better here for Shameless. This bio army designed to get damage done needs to move out across the map. If not, we need to see a transition. We need to see like a 3rd CC or some kind of, again, a next step here for Protoss Aver. Here we go, he's moving out. I mean, that is a pretty hefty army. It's a hefty bio army here. Plenty of Marines, plenty of Marauders as well. And Protoss Aver, he's pushing. Is going to be pushing. back at home. So far, so good. I mean, there's 2 immortals here. It's going to come down to the force fields, to be honest. It's going to come down to the force fields to slice up this army, to slow this down. And does he go for it? Oh! Protosaver, he does dip in for a moment. Try to drag the army out of position. Nice force fields. Oh, yeah, they catch out a couple of marauders, a couple of marines. Shameless taking it slow. Is going to lose the pylon. Quick cancellation. Shameless, he cancels in time. Protosaver, he backs off. He retreats from there. He doesn't try to commit. I mean, I do appreciate the respect that Protosaver has for Shameless's army. He doesn't just ape in. He doesn't just throw away his army, knowing, of course, that it would be an uphill battle against all these immortals. So Protosaver backs off, and thankfully, he at least maintains or retains a lot of his army. He retains a lot of units here. And now here comes that next step. Third TC, the rest of the production, the factory, into the starport, into medevacs. Protosaver, he's going to be able to build up and get into the mid game. But what I will say is that Shameless is in a better position overall. Like, this stim timing was designed to get some damage done, and it didn't. And now Shameless gets into his third, gets into charge, and now Storm. He's working towards his splash damage, towards that higher form of tech, towards the mid game, and Shameless is going to get there faster. So Shameless is in a much better position, at least so far. Is it going to be there? So just make sure everything's set up. Likewise, we do see the third base now being landed. I believe there was an observer, unless he got sniped. Oh. Yeah, it looks like the observer did get sniped. Was keeping an eye on the main army. I believe did see that there was a third CC in production. And now again, there's still a lot of pressure on Protosaver to be active on the map, to get some kind of damage. Shameless, he's all over this though. There's 2 observers in the center, Zelnagas as well. Shameless, he sees everything. Hallucination confirms. Now Shameless getting in position. Does respond. The main army pushing through the left-hand side. Shameless does have some units to defend, but is it going to be enough? Oh, the Marauders, they stim forward, they take down the Stalkers at the same time, the main army. Oh my god, the Storms! He runs into the Storms head first, and the Storms, they clean up the flank on the left-hand side. Meanwhile, over in the main, this drop is more successful. Did kill all the Stalkers, did kill all the Zealots, but Shameless still defends. Now, that was an expensive defense for Shameless. He also was at 4 or 5 Stalkers, so that was expensive. But still a better trade, and Shameless at least maintains the Immortals and the High Templar. There's 4 Head Templar in the War Prism. Here come the reinforcements, and now it's time to counterattack. And back at home, what do we have? Okay, there's 1 tank. Okay, Protosaver, he does have 1 tank. He has a bio army. But as you can imagine, like 1 or 2 good storms, and Shameless can break through this. Can it break through this? Oh, speaking of no! Catches a rallying tank, moving forward. Not like this, man. Not like this. Shameless, he does threaten to die. There we go. Massive. Oh my god. Massive storm on the bio army. Tank a little bit too far back. It's out of range. Okay, there's already brutal storms. And I'll say bust into the mineral line. SCVs are going down. Protosaver caught between 2 rough positions. I mean, he can't really defend. Tank is helping, but even forces a bit of friendly fire. And how does Protosaver, how does he commit? I mean, we could try to go, okay, I was going to say, we could even try to lift up and try to defend with some drop play, or just go for a counterattack, and the tank is exposed, tank goes down, boys being pulled into storms, brutal storms here on the SCVs, oh my god, everything! Storms everywhere, 30 SCVs go down, the bio army takes a brutal storm as well, and it looks like there is still 1 more storm available here for Shameless. He still has the storm. The storm is going to be used to zone instead. So we have a zoning storm. And Shameless, he does come in from behind, actually dropping up into the main. We do see Protosaver coming in for a surround. Once again, a storm here on the right-hand side. Oh god, there's still so many storms. That was the final storm. Good concave here from Protosaver. He can stim in. Yeah, he can collapse on the main army. Shameless, he stuck around a little bit too long. He was a little bit careless with those final storms. With the last 3, and Protosaver does hold. He does hold, but at a cost of 46 SCVs. Protosaver is completely all in. He's down to 20 workers. He's down to 2 bases. But he has an army. And Shameless, without some storms, he's in trouble. Colossus are on the way. Without splash damage, he's in trouble, I should emphasize. Yes, the boys are here. Protosaver. He's here to save Shameless, the Protoss. Boys are being pulled from both sides as the overcharge. Doing what it can. But Protosaver, he stims, he wins, he breaks the shield battery. He's going for the Colossus. Sorry, going for the Immortals. Colossus have arrived. But Colossus, they need some support. They got some good swipes though. And we need some reinforcements. There we go. There's Desperation Warp in here from Shameless. Colossus so close to falling. Takes a lot of hits and oh, he steps in. He wants it. He gets it. Oh my god, he's so close to Colossus. One more shot. Colossus does go down, but there's one more Colossus and barely reinforces Shameless. He's holding. He's barely holding on. And again, it was all or nothing for Protosaver. There's nothing back at home. The Colossus has made it. When I say that, the Bio Army steps in. Up, he wants it. He's gonna get it. Colossus is going down. Shameless. Does he tap out? Is this too much? You still have a couple of SCVs. They're helping. Diving into the main. Zelts and Archons trying to morph in. Feedbacks here on the Medivacs. But this army can kite well. We're down to 3 Marines and 4 Marauders. Sorry, 4 Marines and 4 Marauders. The Medivacs are out of energy. Well, 1 Marine goes down to 3. Well, the Archons, they get a lot of shots off on the Medivacs. Oh god, oh my god. The Archons, they get a couple of shots off on the Medivacs. Bio Army drops down to the low ground. Gets into the mineral line. Probes are falling. 40 probe kills. Reinforcements have arrived. I think he's done it. The Terran, Protosaver. He may have just done it. The 3rd Colossus comes in to reinforce. There's the overcharge. Ooh, keeps the Archon alive. Going for the final Medivacs. Oh my god, down to 2. It was close. Very close counterattack, very close all in here from Protosaver. So close, but not enough. GG gets called as Shameless, he barely holds on, he barely bounces back, and whew, we'll take game number 1. GG. Oh my god, what the hell? Oh my god. GG, well played. Ooh, Shameless does take game 1, but that was a pretty intense game 1. In general, I would say that Shameless was in control of that game. He was taking better fights, he was taking better engagements, defended beautifully against the 3-racks, counterattacked as well. But if you remember, did overextend towards the end, did get surrounded, and in that surround, Protosaver was able to clean up the main army. It cost him every single worker. He was completely all in. He had no economy, he had no sustainability, but I mean, it still got very, very close towards the end there. GG, well played. Shameless takes game number 1. GG. Now, for those that are maybe now tuning in, I do apologize for the more chaotic and abrupt start to the broadcast. But we are here, we are covering Group A of Firegrow Cup number 4. This is an event that MiddleVK has been hosting and organizing and funding for the past couple of months. Basically a monthly basis. So this is month 4. This is the 4th month of Firegrow Cup. And we have been watching from afar, you know, catching up with some updates over on Wikipedia. But MiddleVK, you know, he's a near and dear friend here to the CranKy Ducklings. He has competed in our events many a time in the past. He has started casting more recently, and he's casting this in his own native language. But it's really cool to see that he's also taken the role of organizing these events as well. Like MiddleVK, he is a very passionate, clearly very passionate member of the StarCraft community, now organizing these events, and yeah, it's been honestly really cool to see. Qualifiers were held over the past couple of days. We did not cast the qualifiers, but we are here for the main event. We're here for the group stage at least, and again, we can go over the group after this series. For now though, we're jumping in, and spawning in the bottom left hand corner of a Crimson Court, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player that I'm not too familiar with, but his clan is representing Clan Archive. It is Protosaver. He's here to save the Protoss. Can he? Can he save them from themselves? Get a very intense game one there. As the probe is moving out for a scout, trying to get a read on what's going on. Oh boy. And I'll most likely be sticking with MinoVK. For those that are curious, I believe three best of threes are starting at the same time. This is the group stage of the, this is the round robin. This is a round robin group. So we have plenty of matches happening at once. It is 6 players. 6 players all playing their matches at the same time. Oh boy. It's a lot of matches. It's a lot of StarCraft. It's a lot to get into. And I'm ready for it. I am ready for it. As a probe scout is going to be forced back for now. This time we do have a more economic opening. It's going to be a Rax Expand here by Protosaver. So far, so good. Okay, we're good. Looking for something. But yeah, so far so good. We're going to be settling in, and once again, same build. Once again, it's going to be the same build here from Protosaver. It is going to be Rax Expand into a 3 Rax follow-up, working towards Stim, working towards Combat Shields, working towards a Bio Push. Meanwhile, back at home, we do have Shameless getting to his own, once again, Robo Opener. Oh boy. So far, we have a almost an identical setup here from game 1, with Protosaver going through Rax and with Shameless opening up Robo. So let's see if this time we can have a bit of a different outcome as what we saw in that last game. Go. Also, I totally didn't just wake up. Totally didn't happen. Before my alarms go off, I should probably turn off my alarms as well. That would be a good idea. Again, originally we thought the event was going to be in an hour. So we're just acclimating. Back at home, once again, Safety Immortal. Shameless, he hasn't seen too much outside of the bio count, but it's also very possible that, I mean, Protosaver, this might just be his go-to build. His go-to build in this matchup time and time again, and Shameless so far, he is countering it quite well. Or at least playing against it quite well. Let's get into the main reveals, the Immortal and the Robo. Protosaver knows, now he's aware. Observer likewise moves out across the map, gets eyes on the entirety of the bio army, and Shameless is now aware as well. So both players scout each other, both players are fully aware of what is going on, and now it's all about the execution of the defense. It's going to be all about the force fields. Now, because of the map that we're loading into, both on Golden Aura and here on Crimson Court as well, the ramp or the natural base is quite exposed. You can produce quite a solid arc here, or concave, in towards the entrance to the natural and try to get some just so much DPS on the main army, unlike some of these other maps that have ramps coming into the natural itself. So because this is not going to be an easy defense for Shameless, what I'm getting at is that these 3 Raxes, they can be quite effective on Crimson Court. Here we go, the army has arrived. Boy, it's going to be, what, 6-7 Marauders, a massive amount of Marines. Shameless trying to bait out the Sim, Protosaver trying to bait out the force fields. Doesn't commit yet. More reinforcements on the way. Behind this, the Bays in production just now finishing up. So it is going to be a Colossus follow-up, not Storm this time. And Protosaver, he doesn't commit this time. So once again, really patient, or does respect the army. He respects the army, really patient play. Protosaver, he backs off. Last game, if you remember, Protosaver, he did try to bust in and then did fail, did back up, and did preserve most of his army. This time he preserves all of his army. He does get the hell out of there, and he's expanding. Third TC, Factory to starport into the rest of his Raxes, is getting into the mid-game. And this time he will have that much more to work with. Likewise, Shameless, he's going for something more secure, Storm can be very flashy, and we saw how powerful Storm can be, but now we have some Colossus here. Now we have some more consistent splash damage. I mean, ideally you have both in the mid game, but for now we have one. We have Colossus, and this game does reveal. So remember last game, we had a more Storm-heavy composition with Archons. This time, Protosaver does confirm the Colossus. Does confirm. Here we go, Protosaver. He does pull back for the time being. Does pull away. Likewise, Shameless just going to be fortifying himself. So chat, at least you got some rest after the ladder. Ah, true. I mean, I was adminning MSO, but I did get a couple of hours sleep after MSO. Did sleep and literally just woke up. But we're here. We're good to go. As Protosaver moving out with the double drop here towards the right hand side, does come across the fourth. But so far, Shameless is keeping up with the rotation. He did spot it with the Observer. Did spot the drop. Spitfire does respond. Spitfire responds, he keeps up. And Protosaver does back off. And now we're entering a bit of a longer game state. Second starport is on the way for double Viking production, or I should say quadruple Viking production. Getting into mass Viking, into tanks, into more Marines, more Marauders. Again, we're headed towards a longer game state. Now, this is something that does happen quite often here on Crimson Court. What I'm getting at here is that because of the rocks, because this map is kind of split up into lanes, and because you have to work hard here to gain access to these fringe bases, it can be difficult to really push in and really difficult to be aggressive. What I'm getting at is it's easier to defend. Easier to defend the third because of the ramp, easier to defend the fourth base because you have to knock down rocks and maneuver over. Easier to scout with all these lanes. You have observers covering every attack path, at least towards the center and right hand side. So we could be here for a while. We could be settling in towards maxed out armies. Now, as we're looking to maxed out, I was curious what kind of splash damage Shameless would incorporate. First, it's Colossus. Second is a second Robo and a Disruptor production. So it's not going to be Colossus Storm, it's going to be Colossus Disruptor instead. Oh my god. Colossus. Oh. Calm down. But at least we have our answer there as to what kind of army Shameless is working towards. Meanwhile, Protosaver, we are just waiting for ghosts. Vikings are good, but, I mean, as you can see here, it's not all about the Colossus. There's going to be Disruptors on the ground as well. We will need a more robust ground army. Ghost Academy just now on the way, but what I will say is that this Ghost Academy is late. It's a late Ghost Academy for Protosaver. I am concerned because of that. This does also mean that most likely Protosaver will not move out on the map without any ghosts, which means he's stuck at home. This means that Shameless has map control. He is free to knock down these rocks, free to expand, free to max out himself, and that is a bit of a worrying thing. There's been no drop play. There's again, there's no eventual move out yet, not yet. Still waiting for those ghosts. Ghost Academy did just finish up. And where are the ghosts? Is what I want to know. Because Protosaver is maxing out, and I don't think he's made any yet. 0 ghosts. Uh-oh. And he just starts 2-2. 2-2 feels a little bit delayed as well. Army moves in, never goes off. Zones the armor away, forces a stim. Second over. So far, nice dodges here from Protosaver. No big connections. One Colossus falls. Again, because of the heavy Viking count, the Colossus should all go down. Really, it's about the Disruptors. It's about the Purification Novas. Novas once again zoning, just buying time. Tank out looking quite hefty. So it looks like Protosaver is just trying to brute force his way through here. There we go. Finally, some ghosts are on the way. Same time, Stellar Run by. It hits the third. It takes down the turrets. Forces back the entire army. Oh, there was nothing at home to defend. Zealots say don't get into the mineral line. They could have gone into the mineral line, but alas, they at least drag the army back home. Oh, that's going to be a kill, not a cancel on the CC. And Shameless, he comes in from behind. He's going to get a kill in the 4cc. Actually, kill them both. Yeah, 4th and the 5th base go down. Massive pickups. But Protosaver maintains his main army. May have lost 2 bases, but the main army is still looking solid, and the Ghosts have finally arrived. The Ghosts are here. EMPs are available. That's going to be 4 EMPs for Protosaver. He's pushing. He's pushing out. DT's on the left-hand side. Making their way towards the 3rd, but there are turrets in position. DT's a trade against the tanks, but not the best trades here from Shameless. Look at the back off. How many disruptors? 7. 7 disruptors for Shameless. Army does threaten to dive. Nervous go up. No major connections. Shameless pulling back for now. Prism will rotate towards the natural. The Vikings are keeping up. For the most part, the Observer does go down. Meanwhile, Shameless just taking more expansions, more bases. And now he's getting ready for his Sky Toss. That's +1 air attack on the way. Stargate as well once it's done. Fleet Beacon into Tempest. Into Sky Toss. Nice snipe on the War Prism. But it's going to be on Protosaver to scout and realize what's happening. Once he sees this Sky Toss transition, we need less Marines. Less Marines, more Vikings. Less tank. The tanks aren't going to be helping much as well, but he's committing to more tank production. There he goes off. I mean, Marines can do well against Carrier, but again, I'm making the assumption that it's going to be Tempest instead. Nova's going up. They get a Ghost. Snipe onto the Ghosts. Shameless just posturing. His win condition deny the 4th. There is no 4th expansion. Protosaver does need another base. He does have a bank to work with, but again, he's going to starve out soon. There we go. He's pushing forward. Bringing forward his tank line. More bases. The Observer does spot all of this. Shameless trying to rotate. Up. Gets 1 tank. Gets 2. 2 tanks go down. Observer does pull away. Out of range of the scan. Shameless rotating into the 3rd. Oh, massive EMPs here on the Stalkers. Oh, gets a Colossus. Let's go to Colossus at the same time. Massive DT counterattack. Oh, trying to come in from behind. Is there Blink? There is. There's Blink for the TTs. Shameless looks like he's going for the natural. Oh, the turret does confirm. Protosaver is aware. Shameless rotating from the left-hand side. Oh, Nova goes off. DTs are still looking for another way in. No major Novas yet. Oh my god. EMPs on the Stalkers. A couple of Vikings get picked up. DTs they race back home. And so far, Protosaver, he finally establishes his 4th. His 4th base is getting up and running. 5th base on the way. Protosaver is holding his own. Now we're getting to our fusion core. Let's go. This should be for Viking into Liberator. Freedom and Liberation zones are going to be ideal. They're going to zone away the ground army and force the bigger commitment into Sky Toss. So Liberators would be ideal, but Protosaver is still getting there. And unfortunately, Protosaver, he's maxed out. I would love to see him throw away some of these Marines. I do think that this high Marine count is hurting him more than anything, more than helping. He's trying to engage. Like, getting a secure position here with some freedom zones would be ideal. And he's attempting a counterattack. Nice EMP. The Tempest kind of is getting there. The first Tempest is in production. Sorry, Mothership is on the way first. Then into Tempest. DT's coming in. Oh, they do get spotted. Main army pushes forward. Nova's going off. That's a kill in the command. Oh my god. It's a kill in the command center. Protosaver is getting a fresh mining base. DTs to hit the flanking army. Oh, bad they get a ghost. They get the hell out of there, but we bust into the mineral line, forcing a recall. Army recalls over. A couple of disruptors left behind. Shameless so far, he hasn't made any big blunders when it came to his army control. He does bring everything back together. Pushing through the center. Protosaver heavily overstimmed. Up. Nova's going off. No major connections. Nice splits here from Protosaver. There we go. Finally, one ghost goes down. A little bit of range on the way. Protosaver still committing to mass bio. And he's going for a base trade. Recall is on cooldown. Remember, Shameless, he just recalled here to the right-hand side. So we're trading a base for a base. Tempest, they rally into the Marines. Marines, they kill Tempest. They do it. Tempest full. Main army as well. Where's the mothership? That's what I want to know. Mothership is back home, which means there is a defensive recall. Main army pushing in. Shameless pushing towards that center base. The tank getting a lot of hits off though. Takes down some stalkers. Novas, they will connect. That's some connections here on the tank, on the planetary. And it looks like Shameless, he doesn't recall. He doesn't recall back home. He commits. Losing a lot of his production though. Shameless, he can reinforce with warpins. He can still somewhat maintain his army. And he's not slowing down. Let's go. He's throwing down extra robos. Proxied across the map. Trying to get his production going. Yeah, big cloak here on the army. Bust into the main. Came to the production. Scans revealing more bases. Protosaver, he's not stopping. He commits. Remember to hydrate. He does find the robos. And meanwhile, Shameless is supply blocked. Oh. Yeah, big supply block for Shameless. Does he have a recall? He now does. Does have a recall. So he can try to shut down the main, take down all the production, and then recall back home. Protosaver, he only has a bio army. Does he have any ghosts? The answer is no. No ghosts here. Only Marines, Marauders, and Vikings. As Protosaver is floating his CCs over. And Jesus, Shameless has just so many expansions. He has every base on the map. And Shameless doesn't have to recall. Yeah, he just turns around. He's walking back home. Protosaver stimming in. Does get another expansion. But Shameless, now he can fight. And Protosaver cannot. He cannot engage with this kind of army. Oh my god. There's just so many disruptors. So many zealots. No EMPs. And Shameless, he can just collapse in. Big cloak on the army. Oh my god, the force fields! The slow zone as well! And Protosaver, he's just running out of steam. His army is bleeding out over time. Shameless, he blinks in, chases him down. Protosaver, he's down to a handful of units remaining here, and that's his final stand. GG, Shameless will take the series 2-0. Will get his first win of the group. GG. GG, well played, Shameless. He will take it in the end. He will take the first series 2-0. But a shout out to Protosaver because he was, again, holding his own. He was being very patient, especially here in Game 2. What I was mentioning before, though, is that Protosaver, he was stuck with a subpar army. He was getting ready for a Liberator transition, but he was stuck maxed out, and he wasn't able to refine his army either. Likewise, you can make the same argument for Shameless, where he was trying to work towards Skytoss, but couldn't quite embrace it either because he was stuck with a Gateway army, but Shameless's army was superior to that of the Terran. And alas, Protosaver could not quite get to his final form. With that, GG. GG, well played. Whew, that is going to be our first series in the books. And now let's take a moment here to have a look at the bracket itself and figure out where we are. And what's coming up next. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. We'll need a moment to get some things ready though. Un momento. Bam. Okay, there we go. Huh. As I get rid of the frame. And we scroll down. Okay, so as we scroll down, we have our two groups. We have Group A today and Group B tomorrow. Actually, can I zoom in a little bit? There we go. We have Group A and we have Group B. As you can see here, each group is consisting of 6 players. These are pretty hefty groups. There's a lot of players, a lot of groups. I'm sorry, I should say the groups are quite large, despite there only being 2 of them. In Group A, we have Protosaver, we have Strange, Nikic, Wayne, Art, and Shameless. Protosaver is a player that I'm very unfamiliar with. He doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, but he did hold his own against Shameless. He didn't look too bad. He didn't look too bad against Shameless whatsoever. So GG well played here to Protosaver. Heading over here to Group B, we have UD Soldier, Replicant, Nicorite, Young Yakov, Milky Cow, and GG Machine. So we have 2 groups ahead of us. And as we get into Group A, we can go over these matches. We have our first round finishing up with Shameless getting the 2-0 over Protosaver. At the same time, we have Strange versus Art in a PvP and Nikic versus Wayne in a ZVZ. So we have other mirror matchups happening at the same time. Meanwhile, round 2 is about to begin. We have Art versus Nikic, Wayne versus Protosaver, and Shameless versus Strange. As you can imagine, this is a round-robin group stage, so everyone plays everyone. Everyone will play everyone, and I imagine we're going to be avoiding some of these mirror matchups. I would not be opposed to jumping into Art versus Nikic. That does look like a fun series, a juicy ZVP, so very tempting to jump into. Likewise, we have Wayne versus Protosaver. A ZVT looks like a little fun, but again, I do think the PvZ should be a little bit closer in skill. Regardless, the players are currently mid-series. Right now, the initial round 1 is still underway. We have to wait for that to wrap up, and then we can jump into the round 2 matches, followed by round 3, round 4, and then round 5. We're going to be having at least 5 best of 3s here tonight. Depending on how fast or how slow some matches are, we might be able to catch multiple series in one round. Like maybe we can wrap up one series and then jump into like the ace match of another series, for example. That could be possible. You might be able to, that might occur. But for the time being, we do have some downtime. We do have a little bit of a break here after the first series has concluded. And, oh, no, never mind. It looks like we have our next round ready for us. Okay, never mind. And we may as well just jump in. Okay. So I'm going to be following Middle VK. Technically, I could branch off, but I'll follow it. We'll stick together. We'll stick together. It looks like we have our next round ready for us. Let's go. Let us go. As we are going to be jumping into the PvP. Makes sense. I mean, we're going to be following Shameless into his next series here. Oh boy. And we'll see if he can maintain his momentum, or if we have a bit of a different result coming in here. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the red Protoss player. Representing Team Little Fairy, it is Shameless. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing himself, currently teamless. It is Strange. Here we go. Our PvP is upon us. And honestly, I feel like this could go either way. Shameless, he's a young up-and-comer. For those who do not know, he is, I believe, currently 18 years old. Shameless has been improving a lot here over the past year. This year, 2024, even the last couple of months of 2023, Shameless did hit GM. Shameless has been improving quite consistently over time. He's been getting better and better over the course of the year. And yeah, in my eyes, he's been the rising star of 2024. Strange, meanwhile, is more of a veteran here of the region, of the scene. He has been at this level far longer. He has quite a lot of accolades under his name as well. So it does feel like we have, this kind of generational battle here, typically between Shameless and his opponents. We'll see if he can take it to the veteran that is Strange. Both are strong in their own right, don't get me wrong. But we'll see where this takes us. We'll see where this series lets go. And if we do embrace even a back and forth ace match, I'd love to see it. Would love to see it here. As we are getting into our next match here. And so far, 2-gate opener. 2-gate opener out of Shameless. 2-gate opener out of Strange. So far, so good. So far, so good. We are setting up. We have both Strange and Shameless just setting up their expansions, getting ready for their natural bases. It is going to be a double Stalker opener out of Shameless. Meanwhile, we have a Strange going for a single Sentry first into a Stalker, into an expand, I would imagine. So something more macro-oriented for Strange, something more aggressive for Shameless. The pylon block will delay the expansion. Meanwhile, across the map, Strange should be the first to throw down the Nexus. There it is. Nexus here by Strange. Shameless, because that pylon does go for a faster Stargate. So it's going to be a Stargate opener. Now with this Stargate, this is not an all-in by any means. This should be for Oracles. Should be an Oracle-based opener to get across the map, to harass the Mineral Lines, to get some probe kills, to wreak havoc. We'll see if Shameless can. As again, Shameless's natural base is going to be a little bit more delayed because of that. Strange moving out of this probe. A very strange location for the probe. I'm sure thinking about maybe setting up a proxy pylon and a proxy gateway. Keep an eye out on that worker. Ooh, as Strange is going for a... Oh, that's a little bit awkward. So Strange was going for a Robo. He scouts across the map. He confirms that it is an economic build here. It looks like Strange thought it was an all-in. A Robo opener is ideal to defend against all-in, so Strange with a bit of a misread. This does mean that his Twilight Council is late. It is going to be a delayed Twilight Council, which means a delayed Blink. Now, because Blink is so delayed, we could see a proxy Dark Shrine. The probe is activated, Pylon is going to be on the way, and this would not be a bad location for a Dark Shrine if he so chose to. Twilight Council just now finishing up. No Pylon though. No pylon has been placed. Blink has begun. The Oracle's being active, looking for a way in. Gets Revelation up. And the probe is just being left across the map. No proxy, no commitment. Blink is on the way for both players, even though it should have been a faster Twilight Council. Blink is lined up between both Strange and Shameless. Double Oracle towards the natural. Does threaten a dive. Doesn't quite find a way in. This is a bigger commitment here from Shameless. 2 Oracles, that's quite a lot of resources here, and still has not really gotten much economic damage, not yet. But does scout the natural. Does get some scouting information. Oracle's backing up. Back at home, Shameless building up his own Stalkers. And we are entering the mid-game here as both players should be expanding. We have greater tech for for Strange. Strange is going for a Forge and a Robo, so this should be for +1 and potentially Immortal production. So Strange opts to delay his expansion in favor of tech. Shameless has a faster third instead. So faster expansion for Shameless. Now what does this mean exactly? Well, this means that Strange will have the upgrade lead. Upgrade is going to be in favor of Strange. Meanwhile, the size of the army should be in favor of Shameless. Assuming that he gets his third base up and running. Strange going for extra gateways. The third base was delayed by the stasis. Stalker's moving out. Shameless, I'm sure he wants to try to snipe the probe. Or even snipe the expansion. Stasis just now finishing off. Probe gets started down. And Shameless, is he forcing a 2-base all-in? I mean, those are extra gateways, but not too many. It's just a 4-gate setup. And Strange trying to expand. He is still attempting to expand. He busts out. Nexus finally gets thrown down. But these are some nice moves here from Shameless. Picking up a couple units here and there. Does engage. Also, better late than never when it comes to the predictions in the chat. By the time you hear this message, I believe predictions should be closed, but you can embrace them. Can embrace those predictions. There is a delay on stream, so that's why I'm not as on top of something like those predictions. But best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. Oh, Observer goes down. Shameless does have to back up. Does have to retreat, pulls away, but again, still has that supply lead. That worker lead, he's got 60 workers to the 45 of Strange, a hefty economy, and that is going to translate into a large army. We have +1 attack on the way. +2 is late for Strange. Strange, he has the upgrade lead, but he does not begin +2, so he cannot maintain that lead. Oh, so that is concerning. That's a big concern here for Strange. He doesn't maintain his upgrades. Still just building up. Strange is moving out. And we'll see if Strange just can hold, he can defend against it so far. Ooh, so good. Shield batteries are ready. Overcharge as well. Strange trying to force his way and does go for the Immortal. One Immortal goes down. Good pickoff. And where's the Warp Prism? Where's the Micro here from Shameless? No Prism. Both shield batteries are going to be going down. And Strange, he does have the supply lead, the army supply lead. There we go. There's the overcharge. Shameless going for his own dive. Does target down one of the Immortals. But looks like the Stalker army is going to be a little bit too much. And Strange, he's breaking through. The boys are being pulled. Moment of desperation here for Shameless. A lot of probes are going down. He can't afford to lose them. Oracle tries to come into play. Gets a revelation off. But it looks like Strange has too much. Looks like he is barely breaking this third. The Immortal comes in to reinforce. Oh, it's going to be a close hold here for Shameless. Up. Can he hold on? Barely. He's barely holding on. Did cost him 17 probes. Now Strange has the probe lead. And again, Shameless, he could not save those Immortals. He had no charge either. Charge finished up, but no Zealots, I should emphasize. Shameless needed a little bit more time to refine his army. Up. He's going for the Prism. This is a bold move. He loses a lot of Stalkers. This is not worth it. That's 4 or 5 Stalkers going down. Ay. Now the Immortal's exposed. Strange goes to the dive. And Strange, he's got overwhelmed. Strange, it looks like he may have just done it. I mean, without his Warp Prism, it means that reinforcements are delayed. True. Strange needs time. As Shameless, he is buying himself time here by forcing back the army. Oracle across the map. Nice delay here on the 4th. Shameless doing what he can, and he does get a revelation, but he will lose the Oracle. Now Strange can focus on his push. The Prism has been remade, and now he's moving out. Shameless back at home. He has 10 Stalkers to the 18 of Strange. So barely a Stalker army. He's got half the Stalker count of his opponent. Prism was rebuilt. More reinforcements on the way. Big dive here. Nice pick off here by Shameless. Much more efficient this time. Has to pull away. Shield battery still in production. Ooh, Sentry goes down. Brutal pickup. Sentry does fall. Can Shameless pull off a defense here? He does have the defense advantage. We'll lose the Observer. Sniping a Stalker. Immortal has arrived. +2 is now on the way for Strange. Also getting his 4th base. Shameless, he still has not begun his own upgrade, his own +2. Likewise, still trying to resaturate his bases. Staying on a lower gas count. Trying to build up a higher Zealot army instead. How about Strange? He does have a reinforcing pylon. Army is revealed. Shameless trying to keep up. It's going to come down to blink control. Oh, trading 1 for 1. Oh, 1 for 2. Same time, a couple of probes go down, forcing a defensive recall. Sorry, defensive warp in. And Immortal gets picked off. Very nice pick off there by Strange. Prism has arrived. Still a massive Stalker army. 30 Stalkers at 19. And I don't see how Shameless can survive against this. He's been buying time and it's been impressive. Been very impressive here. Every time Shameless snipes the Prism, then it means that Strange has to back off. But again, Shameless has only bought it so much time. He can only buy so much time before the Stalker's overwhelmed. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. They have to be. Shameless, this time he cannot afford to lose them. Stalker's still going down. And even with the blink control, it does not matter. Zealots across the map that were cleaned up. And Strange. Again, his Stalkers are getting quite low here, but he's still breaking through nonetheless. It should still be too much. Dives on the final Immortal. And Strange, he has broken the fourth base. GG gets called. Strange takes game number 1. Whew. GG. A very intense game there. Again, Shameless, I would say that he had the stronger early game. He had the stronger setup here coming into the mid game as well. I would say from Shameless, but Strange, he had, of course, a very potent attack. He was able to break the third. There was no War Prism from Shameless. That meant that he had no defensive micro to save the Immortals. The first 2 Immortals went down instantly at the start of the fight, and after that, I mean, it was just almost smooth sailings for Strange. I say almost because obviously Shameless, he was like barely holding on by the skin of his teeth. He was definitely elongating that game. He was buying a little time, but he never really had a way past that. Never really had a way to stabilize necessarily, and with that, we're now getting into game number 2. Strange has a 1-0 lead, and we'll see if he can take the series 2-0 or if Shameless can force the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. As we are jumping into game number 2. So I'm just catching up with the chat. Hello, late Chrononauts as well. Hello, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos. Say easy Phil, Seguro. I'll say pull the boys, but there are no boys to pull. Oh no. That was in regards to the last series, which again was quite intense. But here we go, we're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Crimson Court, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Team Little Fairy. Down in this series, we'll see if we can bounce back. It is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, currently teamless, but leading the series 1-0. It is Strange. Here we go. So we are going to be settling in. And so far, so good. We'll see if Strange can once again take it here. Clean up this series. I do believe the other rounds are concluding as we speak as well. They're wrapping up. They are in the midst of wrapping up. Oh, okay. I see, I see. Yeah, thankfully the challenge page is being updated quite diligently. And we'll catch up on those updates momentarily as well. We'll get there, we'll get there. As it is going to be a 2-gate opener by Strange, 2-gate opener by Shameless as well. Now, if you recall last game, Shameless, he was forced to open up Stargate into Oracle. And the Oracles, they didn't really get much done. They got some scouting information, but that's really all they got. I mean, they did delay the third, true. Did delay the third base. As both players are attempting to delay their respective expansions. Probes are being active. Oh, probe almost goes down. And there's a pylon block here at the natural. Likewise, pylon block from Shameless as well. So both players pylon blocking each other. We do see Shameless opening up Stalker Sentry. Likewise, Stalker Sentry by Strange as well. So mirrored build so far. Pylon gets denied. Shameless, he does skip his second and third unit. So he does skip his units in favor of a much faster expansion. I say that Strange did the same. Did the same here. So slightly faster base for Strange. Shameless behind by like a second or two. Not too long, but by a couple of seconds. The biggest of deals is we can now embrace the mid-game. Or we're working towards the mid-game, I should emphasize. Additional sentries on the way. We do see Strange going for a Robo Opener. This is a very safe way to play. It does give him access to faster Immortal production. Hallucination will confirm the timing of the natural. Strange now fully aware what's going on. He does confirm the Twilight Council. So it is going to be Blink Stalkers first for Shameless and Immortals for Strange. This does mean that Strange is going to be the defender. Strange is going to be taking more defensive role here, just stabilizing on 2 and then 3 bases, building up a heavier Immortal count before moving out. Meanwhile, Shameless will have map control. He'll have map control with Blink Stalkers. He can pick away at these stray units here and there. He can try and delay the expansion, pick off some key high-tech units as well. We will have that kind of dynamic. Oh. At least I would have assumed so. Strange setting up a proxy pylon to try to reinforce across the map. Immortal production has already begun quite early here for Strange. So again, he's going to have quite a hefty Immortal count. Meanwhile, Blink for Shameless. Proxy gateway here at a Strange. He could turn this into a 2-base all-in. Uh-oh. That's 1 gateway for the time being. Hallucination does get eyes on the Immortals. Second Immortal's on the way. No Observer, no War Prism. 3-gate setup for now. Oh, and Strange, he's pushing. Is moving out. And he can reinforce. There we go. More Stalkers on the way. Strange is going for the kill. And Shameless. Can he hold? Can he survive this? More Stalkers warping in. Shameless coming with Hallucination. Does spot another Immortal. Shameless back on. What does he have? He does have a shield battery. We'll have an overcharge. Blink is going to finish up in a couple of seconds, but it's not ready yet. He's going for a third. Third base is denied. Strange is pushing in. Shameless reinforcing. Blink finish up in 10 seconds. He is 10 seconds out. Nice force fields. Strange, he bleeds out 2 Stalkers. Already a big loss for Strange. Nice force fields though. He does catch a couple of sentries. But there's the dive. First Immortal is going to be going down. No, it survives. Oh my god. Strange, he saves the Immortal. There's the overcharge. Has to respect it. Strange, he has to pull back. Has to pull away from the overcharge. Commits in for a moment there. Picks away the Stalkers. Shameless picks off a sentry, but doesn't quite get any Immortals yet. Strange getting ready for a third. Strange, he is transitioning. He's working on the next step. Still pushing in, though. And I mean, I say he's working on the third base, but he hasn't run it down yet. Finally, 1 Immortal goes down, but it looks like, oh my god. These Immortals, they do so much damage here in the back line. The boys are being pulled. They're stuck behind the Stalkers. And it looks like Strange may have just done it. He may have just broken the back of his opponent. 1 Immortal is going to fall. Does expose itself. But GG gets called. Just a little bit too much to handle. And Strange, he will overwhelm. He will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. Oh my god. GG, well played, Strange. He pops off with the 2-base all-in, and he will take down Shameless. GG, very well done here. Strange will take it. Shameless, again, he had a lot of potential, and he was looking not too bad in Game 1, but here in Game 2, we did mention at the time, I should emphasize, that Shameless was getting ready for an expansion. He had banked up 400 minerals. He was going for the third base. That's when he realized that there was an all-in coming his way. Because of that, he only had the 1 shield battery. The overcharge did buy some time, but only 1 shield battery was ready here at the natural base, and he was caught out. Strange, also very nice control, saving that Immortal. It was on the brink. It was on the cusp of going down, but the Immortal did survive, and GG. GG, well played. Oh, Strange will take it. And now we do have quite a shakeup here when it comes to the overall standings, when it comes to the bracket itself. Let's see if we can catch up. Has the Wikipedia page been updated? That is the question. Is it being updated? It is. Okay. Is being updated. Here we go. Oh, my apologies. I assume these are best of 3s. My apologies. These are best of 2s. So my apologies. I should have emphasized that as well. I also just assumed they were best of 3s, so we'll have to fix that up. When it comes to the overall score lines as well. But we did have a 1-1 tied score here between Nickers and Wayne. Likewise, Art got the 2-0. We had Shameless taking the 2-0 as well initially. Art towards Strange. Impressive. Very impressive stuff there. Meanwhile, the second round is also wrapping up. And now we're getting ready for round number 3. When it comes to round 2, I believe Art took down Nikic. Art has been popping off. Art undefeated. 2-0 Strange, 2-0 Nikic. That's crazy. I do rate Nikic a little bit higher than Art, so very impressive stuff. Wayne takes down Proto Xavier 2-0. Strange took down Shameless 2-0, and we're getting ready for our next round. I believe Wayne versus Art has already begun. They're already mid-series. We could jump into Nikic versus Shameless or Protozar versus Strange. I think it's going to be Nikic Shameless. I think that is our next series. For now, though, we're going to be going on a short break before we jump into our next best of 2. One moment. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, I do hope you enjoy that brutal OC and hope you enjoy that break as we have returned with our third series of the evening of the group stage. Here we go. We're jumping into our fresh best of 2. If you are in the chat, you know what time it is. It is time to get your gamba going. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat as we are jumping into our PvZ. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player from the land of Belarus representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nikic. We finally have our Protoss versus Zerg. Ooh, again, we did need a little bit of time to set up this series, but we are here, we have returned, and we are jumping on in. Here we go. As again, best of luck with those predictions, and as a reminder, this is a best of 2, not a best of 3. We actually cannot set up a best of 3 in the in-game score screen, so I do apologize for that. It is we can't set up a best of 2 in the in-game score screen. So it does say 3, but it is a best of 2 regardless, as we are going to be setting up. So far, hatch gas pool opener out of Nikic. So far, everything looking as it should. Likewise, Shameless going for a gate expand back at home. Remember to hydrate yourselves as well, as Shameless does throw down that juice box under the gateway, keeping it powered. Do love to see it. So best of luck as we can settle in. Again, the other game of PvZ is a little bit more. There's just a little bit less going on here with just getting into our builds, getting into our openers. I don't really expect Shameless to shake things up too much. Nikic is known for aggression. True, Nikic is known for being hyper-aggressive with Lings, hyper-aggressive with Roach Ravager as well at times. So my eyes are going to be mainly on Nikic to see if he does deviate. From the side of Shameless, we expect a Stargate. A pylon gets thrown down. It gets thrown down right next to the gas geyser. This does mean that it takes less time to throw down the tech, as it is closer to the mineral line. And in a sense, it is going to be a little bit more difficult to scout, but I can't imagine we're going to be going for a Twilight Council, right? We'll see. As our eyes are on Shameless. And there it is going to be the Stargate. Yeah, so standard opener. Just standard play here from Shameless. Meanwhile, Nikic across the map, looking to expand and take his third. Probe is in position to delay, but the third base is going to be placed. It is thrown down. Probe gets the hell out of there. And now we could embrace the early to mid game. Again, from the side of Shameless, this should be just an Oracle-based opener into a third, just triple Oracle into a third base into the mid game. Nikic, does he embrace early Roaches? Does he go for an early Baliness? Does he go for early Aggression? Still yet to be determined, as Adept does confirm the saturation at the natural base. Does get eyes on the droning, which again is quite important against Nikic, I feel. Is important for Shameless to confirm. It does keep shading in, keeps checking the saturation, making sure that Nikic is indeed droning. Second Adept has arrived, and now Shameless can start to focus or start to chase down some of these workers to Adepts they can one-shot drones. They can threaten these mineral lines. Oh! Okay, no commitment yet. Shameless, he thinks about it. Back at home, second gateway. Nexus soon to be placed as well. Oracle moves out. Well, with Nikic's defense, he's got 2 queens here at the natural. Likewise, has the 1 queen in the main. Sorry, 2 queens in the main. So far, so good. He keeps up. He zones away the Oracle. He defends. Does defend quite nicely here. Oracle's forced back. Third base not being taken. Spores are being thrown down. Just so Nikic can maintain himself. And here comes that next step. It is going to be the Twilight Council and the Forge. This should be +1 in Blink. This could be +1 in Charge. True. Shameless does have that option available to him. Get your charge instead. Oracles, they dive into the natural. They take a lot of hits. No kills yet. Ooh, yeah, no major damage. Shameless, he does get behind the main base, but alas, Nikic is keeping up. We've hit the 4-minute 30 mark. It is going to be a Bailey Nest from Nikic, not a Roach Warren. Okay, now This does look like... Lair's on the way. I was going to say this looks like a Bane bust. Something that's interesting to me is that there's no Evo Chamber. There's no Evo Chamber. Extra gases are being taken, or a lot of extra gases. Now, this could be one of two things. This could either be Ling Bane into Hydra or Ling Bane into Muta. Both are available here to Nikic. And which one is it going to be? So far, Nikic is getting up to 4 gas saturation. Oracles are still being active. Shameless, he does get eyes on the Lair timing. And he does get eyes on the Baneliness as well. So that does confirm no roaches. So Shameless, he already has a piece of the puzzle. He sees the Lair, so he knows, okay, it's going to be some Lair Tech. It's going to be very Lair Tech based composition. I'll do have a bit of a pause here, and hopefully everything is okay. Nikic does need a moment. We are more than happy to give it to him, and we are about to embrace kind of the mid-game here. Over on the production tab, it is +1 and Blink from Shameless, so he's not going into Charge, going to Blink Stalkers instead, going for a Gateway Explosion as well, so playing very Gateway-centric, of course. Really, our eyes are still on Nikic. Once the Lair finishes, we'll see what he embraces. He is just now taking extra gases, and again, he could take in any direction, or really just 2 main directions. On some of these other maps like Amphion or Crimson Court, like we have seen players rush into Swarm Host, but even then, if they go to Swarm Host, usually it's with a Roach Warren, so they have roaches to support themselves to get into like Swarm Host harass. Also, that's just a very niche build, and again, usually very map dependent. Usually. Otherwise, we are just going to be waiting for a moment to make sure everything's okay from Nikic. And again, hope everyone has been enjoying themselves. A Fire Grow Cup has always been something that I've been very tempted to cast myself. You know, much love to MinoVK for hosting, sponsoring, and organizing this event, putting his own money on the line. This is also an OOC event, so OOC points are also awarded. And again, this event is focused more on the CIS region. In events past, we've had players from Ukraine, players from Belarus, players from Russia, players from Kazakhstan, of course. They all come together to compete and to compete against each other, and just focusing on this regional play. So that is kind of what this tournament is kind of oriented around. And this is a monthly tournament, every month, at least for the past 4 months. We'll see if this continues and for how long it continues. But for now, it is a monthly event. And today we are covering all of Group A. Tomorrow will be Group B. So it's going to be Group A into Group B into the playoffs, which will be in another 2 days. So 3 days straight of StarCraft, 3 days straight of Fire Grow Cup. Oh boy. And I'm also thankful that the group stage are best of 2s, not best of 3s. I'm very much so very thankful. Because they're best of 2s, it does mean that these that we shouldn't have too long of a group stage, especially because it's round robin. It's a lot of matches. It would, if this was best of 3s, it'd be a lot of matches. But here we go. We're jumping back into Nikic versus Shameless. As we were saying, Blink is the tech of choice. Extra gateways being thrown down. Lair is about to finish, and what's it gonna be? Oracles hit the natural. Finally, some drones are going down. 4 drone kills so far, not bad. Finally, some economic damage. And we have the answer. It is going to be the Hydra Den. Hydra Den gets placed. Shameless hasn't confirmed yet, but he is poised to scout the main. And he will. There we go. Oracles, they dive in. They get eyes on the Hydra Den. And now Shameless is fully aware of what's going on. He's fully aware of the Ling Bane Hydra. And what splash damage does he go for? There are options. Shameless could go into Temple Archives. And yeah, there we go. Temple Archives into Storm. The other option would be Robo into Bay into Colossus production, but the Robo wasn't ready yet, so it would have been a more awkward transition into Colossus. Storm does make the most sense. And Storm is on the way, eventually. You know, we see Shameless, he's poking at the 4th, picks up a couple of workers, shaves away some of the Ling Bane. Bailing speed is not yet done. And these so far are very efficient trades by Shameless. Shameless hasn't lost a single Stalker yet. Taking off more Lings. Threading the expansion. Bailey's trying to connect, but again, no, nothing here yet from Nikic. Queen goes down. Second Queen is no massive pickups. He gets 2 Queens. Gets 2 more drones as well. And the Lings, they just cannot engage. Nikic is up against the wall. More Lings are required. More Hydras are required. As the Hydra count gets higher, Shameless should soon get out of here. He spots the Hydras. Bailey speed kicks in. First stasis goes off. Shameless setting up additional stasis traps. Gets revelation. Oof. Yeah, Shameless forced to blink away towards the left-hand side. More stasis traps going off, and Shameless, he has to back up. Does retreat behind this. His fourth base is getting saturated. Storm is about to finish. But Shameless, he's still sticking around. He's still trying to threaten that fourth. I feel like Shameless is playing with fire. I'm not so sure about this. Speaking of one Stalker, he's playing with the Fire Grow Cup. See what I did there? Non-represented players. Yeah, I should say that as well. Should say that as well. Shama. Shameless is setting up. Had Templar amassing. Nigish pushing on the right-hand side. Oh, and here comes the sun. That's a lot of storms. Oh my god. Storms, they do raise the Hydras. Bailing's going to be denied, but we have more Bailings rolling in towards the left-hand side. And does Shameless react in time? He does warp in. He does manage to reinforce, and he will not lose barely anything. 2 probes go down. Very nice defense here by Shameless. Whew, very, very intense moment there. Does warp in time. And Nigish, he is forced back. Now, this is not his final form. This is, though. Lurker Gen is done, and the Lunkers, they're on the way. Now, these are going to be Lair Tech Lurkers. The Hive is done, but the Hive upgrades have yet to begin. So these Lurkers, they're still not quite where they need to be. Lurker range did just begin. This tells me that I will give the edge to Shameless until Lurker range finishes. Lurkers can be quite good against ground toss, but that's only with those upgrades. Without them, Shameless can still threaten this location. Lurkers are revealed, plus when air attack is on the way, we could be in for a bit of a longer one here. There we go, we have the Fleet Beacon, we have more Stargates. Shameless, he is ready to commit and embrace Sky Toss. Let's go. Let us go. As Shameless, he is rotating over towards the right-hand side to get the revelation here on the Lurkers. Shameless pushing in, gets a Queen. Gets a Queen. Nikish being active towards the left, getting ready for another link, potentially bailing run by. Shameless trading well with those Zealots. And Nigish did underestimate. And really, Shameless, he's just buying time. He's just fighting for map control. He shouldn't be pushing into these Lurkers. He's just buying time for Tempest, as Tempest production has begun. As Nigish is rotating. Prism to the main. Oh! Prism gets shut down. Nice pick up here by Nikic. Does get the Prism. Storm here on the Lurkers. Spire on the way. I mean, we're getting ready for Sky Toss, so Corruptors are going to be necessary here for Nikic. See Shameless trying to come in from the left-hand side. Gets caught out, did overextend, but the recall saves the army in time. And defense is third. Ling Runway doesn't get much done. Nice defense here out of Shameless. Nigish trying to keep up. More Tempests are amassing. And of course, Nikic is fully aware. He's just waiting for that Spire. Neural is being researched. Let's go. Neural for those Infestors. Now, what I'm most concerned by here is that Shameless has map control. Like, I feel like typically in this kind of game stage that the Zerg player would be containing the Protoss, and the Protoss would be forced to just turtle and get into Skytoss. Now we have the opposite scenario here. And what's concerning is the lack of creep. There's very little creep spread for Nikic, very few bases as well. Ling run by, runs into a wall of cannons. Massive storms on the Lings. Like, Shameless is in control. And Nikic, he's struggling to really maintain himself. Shameless going for a counterattack on the left-hand side. No Lurkers in position. That's a kill mode to cancel on the hatchery. Oh. Hopefully everything's okay. Bit of a It looks like there was a bit of a freeze for a moment. I'm checking, my connection looks good. Might be one of the players. Again, hopefully everything's okay. We did see Nikish had to pause earlier. Did have to pause earlier. There we go. Shameless coming from right hand side. Runs into a wall of spines and lurkers. That's a lot of lunkers. Shameless, he can't quite push in here. May opt to rotate. More Hydras, they come in. Oh, no Storm. Nice pick up there by Nikic. Takes down the High Templar, the Archon, the Immortal as well. But really, this is just freeing up more supply for more Sky Toss. As Shameless is rotating. Nikic, he does miss the rotation. His Lurker's out of position. Army is spotted. Lurkers, they do have to rotate. They unburrow. Warping into the main. Drones are going down. Nikic getting pulled apart. The Infestors are coming in for their fungals. They still need more energy for Neural. Storm the Corruptors. Zoning back this guy, Zerg army. Zealots are wreaking havoc. They're trading against the Hydras. Efficient trades here with the Zealots. Trading Zealots for Hydras, minerals for gas. Threatening the Spire. Tempest popping off here against those Lurkers. Just in general, just more efficient trades here from Shameless. Nikic trying desperately to expand. He's been stuck on 5 bases, getting a 6th. Trying to at least. Shameless will confirm with the Zonaga. And Shameless is now aware. The Neural comes in. Not bad. Tempest on Neurals. Dragging them within range of the Corruptor. He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3. Very efficient trades. Nikic with the Neural. It's something you don't often see in this kind of late game scenario. Usually you see Corruptors paired with Vipers for abductions. It's a similar kind of thought process where you abduct the Tempest. But instead we have the Neural. We have more of an alternate answer to the problem that is the Tempest with Neural. Army dives in. Getting another Tempest. The downside with Neurals is that it takes longer for Infestors to regather their energy because they cannot consume like Vipers can. They cannot stuff on buildings. Likewise, Infestors are less mobile than Vipers as well. So there is a give and take. And a reason why Vipers are seen more often than not than Infestors to support. At least specifically against Skytos. Regardless, Prism into the main. Nikic, he does spot this, he does react. Goal base gets denied. I mentioned before that Nikic, he's been contained on this 5 base setup for a long time and he just cannot expand. He's been trying. But at least he has a 5th, right? Like, he fought hard here for this 5th base and at least he does have it. Shameless, he has to rebuild his Tempest count. It was reset. Ooh. Stasis towards the left-hand side. Catches out the Lurkers. Still plenty more Lurkers in position. It's 19 Lurkers in total. That's a lot of Lunkers, Pappy. Oh. Storm's being thrown down. Corruptor falls. The Lurkers are pushing in. They do take down potentially an Archon and a High Templar. Oh, there we go. Nice pickups here with the Lurkers. Nikic gaining ground. Building up more Corruptors. Oh, this is a rough engage by Shameless. Oh my god. Yeah, some brutal connections here. Stalkers are falling. And the Lurkers, they still maintain themselves. The detection was just a little bit late, so it was just an awkward fight for Shameless. Nikic, once again, trying to retake that gold. Creep is looking okay. Lurkers, they try to sneak past the main army. They're going for the 5th. Shameless, he responds. Oh, the High Templar. Oh! Any more from the Archons. Lurkers, they get out of there. And Nikic, he's finally done it. He finally expands. He finally takes the gold. Now, it hasn't been saturated yet. Shameless, he should be aware. He should be aware the gold has been taken. He's building up more Tempest. I am concerned that we have too many Lurkers for Nikic. Lurkers, they have their place, but against this kind of army, I mean, Nikic doesn't really have much diving power like Ultras would provide you. So really, Nikic is relying on Shameless to push into him. I mean, you can see here with the Spore Forest, with the Lurkers in position, with the Infestors as well. Nikic is trying to turtle up, which is an interesting kind of approach. Tempests have arrived. Shelling away at the site defense. And once again, the Neurals. They do catch one of the Tempest. They don't quite get it though. Oh, they do. Tempest goes down. Storm does soften up some of those Corruptors. Nikic getting ready for another Lurker run by. I mean, the Tempests are trading well, but is there enough to defend? There should be it. There's Immortals. There's Immortals. There's the Storm. Lurkers are sneaking in. And Shameless, does he get the Storm off? He does not. And Shameless's attention is being pulled apart. That's a kill, not a cancel on the Nexus. Shameless, he had this horse to defend here. The High Templar exposed. Where's the Storm? Not a single Storm. Oof, 2 High Templar go down. Against Shameless, he's being torn apart here. Shameless unable to react in time, forced to recall. Observer goes down. And Nikic, he's finally gaining some map control. He can finally start spending some creep. There are 0 active tumors, but he can get there with these queens. Lurkers rotating towards the right. Shameless, he just recalled. So recalls on cooldown. More Lurkers are revealed. And Shameless, he responds to top right. But can he defend bottom left? I don't think he can. There's no detection. No observer, no detection. The space is denied. Goal base getting saturated. Nikic pushing forward. Nikic does overextend himself though. The observers have to be careful. Shameless pushing on the right. Lurkers moving forward, gaining ground. Fungal's going to be available as well. And Shameless, he overextends. But then you're on the Archon. Ooh, some big hits here on the Zealots. Boys are being pulled into Lurkers. I'm pretty sure they were meant to be pulled away. As Lurkers, they get a kill on the Nexus. And Nikic is pushing in. You can see this ground army struggling. Oh my god! The Neurals on the Immortals. The Shameless, he cannot engage, but he's pushing it. He's getting ground with the Tempest at least. The Lurkers! Oh my god. Yeah, big shots going off. Now we get the revelation, but that was a late revelation from Shameless. He lost a lot of his ground army. Both players are hurting, but Nikic, he can remax. Shameless, his production's under fire. Yeah, Stargates are going down. Some Robers are going down as well. Minami pushes forward. Natural has fallen. Now Nikic pushing towards the third. Both players have banks. On the one hand, yes, Shameless does have a larger bank, that is true. But again, if he loses the main base, if he loses the production, I mean, that could be game. Likewise, these Lurkers have been trading very well. They've been trading very efficiently. As another base is gonna fall. And where are the reinforcements? Where are the carriers? Where are the Skytos? You can see here that despite the bank, these Stargates are not producing. And so we have more High Templar reinforcements. There we go. The Zealot Archon does turn back around. And we do engage. The Archons, they can clean this up. They can and they will. They collapse on the Lurkers. Massive cleanup. And this is what Nikish needed. Like a couple of minutes ago to save all these bases. Archons, they shut down the Lurkers. They clean up all the Hydras. Finally, this army gets shut down. But Nikish, he was able to, I mean, take down 3 bases. Getting another expansion. Oh, the drones are getting here a little bit too soon. Shameless popping off, getting into the mineral line. Base goes down. Nice pick off here by Shameless, very necessary as well, to make sure that Nikish doesn't gain too much momentum as he's getting the goal base fully saturated. Shameless making more Stargates, getting into Void Ray production. Corruptors, they cannot dive in, not into all these High Templar. And this is also what's important here, is that Shameless's main army has been maintained. He may have been bleeding out Archons and High Templar and Immortals, but his Tempest count has been kept healthy. Very healthy Tempest count. Oh. Hopefully everything... No! Yeah, I was concerned. So earlier, Nikish did have to pause, and, oh, it looks like his... Hopefully he's able to... Yeah, there we go. Hopefully he's able to stay connected. Do you have another pause here? It does make sense. I mean, we're embracing this late game, and thankfully there was some latency when there was a bit of a lull period. Like, there's no big fight, there's no big engagement. Hopefully everything's okay, and we're jumping back in. Yeah, we are jumping back in. Ooh, it's a kill, not a cancel. But everyone, pray for Nikish's internet. Pray for the Ethernet cables. Tie them together. Ah. Tempest moving forward. How many Tempests? 10. 10 Tempests here for Shameless. Oh, Bungle doesn't quite connect. Going up. Still better pickups here. Shameless picking up a lot of units. At the same time, Nikish, he's going for the kill. He's going for the main. He's diving for the production. Shameless is maxed out. Does he recall back home? He doesn't. He doesn't recall. The Archons instead. The Archons pushing into a choke point of Lurkers, though. That's going to be a tough defense here for Shameless. And this is what I was worried about. The Stargates, the gateways, they're all exposed. And they are going down. Again, this is because these other bases did fall earlier. Mass Neural. Shameless, he's diving in. He breaks through the Infestors. Every single Infestor going down. Oh my god. The Neural was not worth it. Nice powerbomb here on the Carriers, or on the Void Rays. But Shameless, he shovels back the Void Rays. And you know what? Who needs production when you just don't lose your army? Who needs production when you don't need to reproduce? Oh no. It's fine. As Shameless, he is able to maintain his army. He shuts down all the Infestors. Picks off more Corruptors. The phrasing. As Nikish, he plummets in supply. Does a plummet in supply. Just very efficient trades here with those Tempests. Just getting free Lurkers, free Corruptors. And, I mean, this is the ideal army here for Shameless. With Void Ray, Archon, Storm. The Archons that ran back home was not good enough. They were cleaned up. But Shameless is just rebuilding his production. He's just rebuilding his tech. He has given up on his main. He doesn't need it. Not anymore. He knows it. And Nikish just cannot hold his own. And Shameless, he has broken through. And again, Lurkers, they don't scale, like, in these high numbers, they don't scale amazingly here against a higher Tempest count. This is where Ultras or even Broodlords or a combination of the two could have worked a little bit better. Again, Nikish was struggling economically for a long time, and he's now out of a bank. Like, again, Shameless, he had map control for most of this game. It was very impressive play by Shameless, and now he's snowballing out of control, pushing into the main, going for the tech, going for the hive. The Lurker Den, the Hydrogen, and the Spire, it's all here in the main. And Nikish, he just can't do anything about it. He's locked out of his own main base. And unlike Shameless, Nikish cannot afford to lose his own main. Trying to come in from behind. Oh my god, brutal! The storms! Brutal storms on the ramp. Not like this, Nikish, not like this. He's trying to expand, but there are Zelts across the map. Ooh. And there it is, GG gets called. Nikish, he runs out his team, and Shameless will take game number 1. Whew. GG, and that was only game 1. It's only game 1. GG, well played. Shameless takes the lead in the series, and again, just really solid play out of Shameless, winding it back a little bit. If you recall, Shameless, he was able to contain the Zerg player, not just contain the Zerg player base-wise, but there was almost 0 creep spread. There were, if you remember, there were 0 active tumors on the map. Just Shameless was constantly rotating between bases, denying the gold base for a long time as well. Shameless was able to build up a bank, and for a long time, Shameless's own economy was left untouched. He had an untouched economy. Shameless was able to maintain himself, and yeah, GG. Now there was a big moment for Nikish when he counterattacked with the Lurkers. True, like I don't want to take away from Nikish. He did achieve a lot with that Lurker counterattack, where he was able to break through 3 bases. 3 bases went down. And I'll be honest, I feel like those bases shouldn't have gone down, depending on how Shameless would have responded to it. When it came to storms, when it came to his attention, I mean, he was being spread thin. So Nikish, he had a good moment there where he was able to break through those expansions and threaten the main production, but when it came to the main army composition, that is where he was lacking a little bit as well. Lurkers, they can do amazing against a ground-based army, but once we get in towards Sky Toss, I mean, that's where you do have to adapt your style a little bit. Tempest, they have their way with Lurkers, as you saw. Lurkers are very much so more stationary units, and Tempest, they can just completely shut them down. Very efficient trades from Shameless, just picking away and getting Lurker after Lurker after Lurker. Unfortunately, Nikish just wasn't able to really transition or even have any room to transition either. Did have 3-3 for his air upgrades, that is true, but never had a greater Spire, so never really could embrace any kind of Broodlord production or any kind of Ultra production. I do think Ultras would have fared him better against a higher High Templar count. Because there were so many High Templar, there was definitely a lot of potential, like die potential with something like Viper, Corruptor, Ultra, definitely, depending on what kind of army you wanted to go for. But again, it was also very difficult because I would say that the strength of that kind of more mobile army is also when you have a lot of creep to work with as well. And there was 0 creep, or there was almost 0 creep on the map, so just a really rough position for Nikish. Just never really felt too comfortable in that game. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Shameless does take game 1, and now we are jumping into game number 2. Let's go. We are jumping into game 2. It's going to be on Alkion. And we'll see if we get another late game scenario, or if we head somewhere else. We'll see. We shall see. As it looks like the rest of the round has wrapped up. Once again, Artist Pop, what is happening today? Like, what the hell? We noticed this last week. We were covering, I think it was the CSO Cup during the podcast or some of these other tournaments, and Art had some crazy upsets. I want to say, it was last week, Art took down Cristiano 2-0, which was crazy. Like, some crazy upset where Art took down Cristiano. And tonight, Archie takes down Strange 2-0, Nikish 2-0, and Wayne 2-0. Art has not dropped a single map. That is insane. And he might just go undefeated the entire group. And again, he's not the player that I would have picked to be at the top of Group A. But he is. I mean, we'll get into it after this series. For now, we're jumping in and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkione. We have the red Protoss player for Team Little Fairy, leading the series 1-0. It is Shameless. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player representing the Platinum Heroes. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back, and hopefully any connectivity issues don't plague him here in Game 2. Hopefully we're able to recover from that. It is Nikish. And for the Platinum Heroes, here we go. As we do see Nikish just going for a hatch gas pull, standard opener out of our blue Zerg player. Likewise, Shameless back at home, going for his own gate expand as well. Remember to hydrate everyone, remember to get your juice boxes out and raise them for Shameless. Again, for whatever reason, it is Shameless's favorite spray. Always throws down the juice box. Get juiced up. As we can settle down and embrace Game 2. Just catching up with the chat. El Paquito, papi. Good to see you, papi. Good to see you. Bienvenidos. Hopefully everything's well over on your end. Big shout out to Paco Mike. Much love, much love. Only thing that matters, you represent Terran Zerg or the race that must not be named. Oh no. I don't like this. The Kala is insane. It's OP. Kappa. Wikipedia is updated. Oh yeah, I do see people catching up with the chat. But yeah, like Art, he's been popping up. Not just tonight, but recently. I mentioned before that we were going over Art's results over Cristiano during the podcast, and we were very shocked to have seen that. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but like Art, maybe you know the winter season is the season of Art. It's hard to say, but he has been getting some really impressive results recently. Like, Art has been around for a long time. He's a veteran of the region, of the scene. But, you know, there are players that I do rate higher than him. Even in this group, like Shameless, like Wayne, like Strange as well. I do think quite highly of a lot of his opponents. So for Art to pop off the way that he has is that much more impressive. You know, I'm very impressed. Very impressed by Art. Very impressed indeed. I look forward to eventually casting him. We haven't casted him yet today. So I look forward to seeing his matches later on. Meanwhile, it is going to be a Stargate opener, this time Void Ray. This time it is going to be the Void Ray for Shameless. Void Ray into what exactly is the question? Now, this Void Ray opener does allow Shameless to hunt down these Overlords, does allow him to keep Nikic in the dark, and from here he can go into an Oracle, into a third base, into a standard build. There we go, the juice box has been thrown down, and the third is on the way. Catching it. Clearly we need to nerf apple juice. True. Oh my god. The vitamin C. I think there's vitamin C in apple juice, right? I think. I mean, I know there is in orange juice. Regardless. Crazy. You know what we need? We need more juice boxes in StarCraft. We have apple juice. Where's the orange juice? What's going on? Where's the black currant? As Shameless so far is just going for a standard opener following the Void Ray, but Nikic, he's going to be that much more in the dark as to what's going on. For all Nikic knows, there could be a second Stargate. There could be a second Stargate into Mass Void Ray, into like a Tempest Rush, into a Carrier Rush. Nikic is in the dark. He's trying to keep up. Meanwhile, second Overlord. Somehow, how did this Overlord get in? The hell? It's just, the Void Ray is asleep on the job here. There we go, Overlord goes down, but Nikic, he somehow gets a full scout despite the Void Ray. Pinche Void Ray, what's going on? Shaking my head. So very nicely done here by Nikic. Now he did see all the gateways, the Forge, and the Twilight Council. Nikic knows what's going on. And behind this, once again, Baneling Nest. Once again, looks like Nikic wants to go Link Bane into Hydra. This is a very similar setup that we had in Game 1. So it looks like Link Bane Hydra out of Nikic. Meanwhile, it's going to be +1 in charge. No Blink Stalker for Shameless. That tells us that Shameless is going to be more aggressive. He's going to be more assertive. He's going to be working towards a charge push, most likely with Archons. And we'll see if Nikic can keep up. We have a Void Ray on the right, going for the fourth. Meanwhile, double Oracle towards the natural. He gets one. Just the one. Just one. Drone goes down. The other two do get away. So far, Nikic is minimizing his losses, but what about the hatchery? Nah, he's fine. Yeah, the Queens keep up the Void Ray. A bit of a miss rally. Does take a lot of hull damage. Hull damage that should not have happened, but that is a lot of damage being dealt. Meanwhile, Adepts shade in towards the third, and they get 4 drones in total. That is in conjunction with the Oracles earlier. So that's some okay damage. 2 Adepts for 4 drones. as a double Oracle gets in. Oof, getting another 2 drones, 6 in total. Not bad. I see someone asking, doesn't Oracle into Void Ray seem more intuitive than Void Ray into Oracle? No, because if you go Void Ray first, you could be skipping your Oracle, and the opposing Zerg player may not be fully aware. And if they skip out on their spores, and if they're not quite in position, then you can catch them off guard with that follow-up Oracle. So it is perceived to be more important to deny scouting and have the Zerg player be just a little bit more uncertain and have your build be more ambiguous than it would be to get damage done with the first Oracle. Especially because the first Oracle typically doesn't get much damage. Meanwhile, we spoke about that charge timing, and there it is. Charge is done, Archons have arrived, there's the Warp Prism, and we spoke about how a charge opener leads into a more aggressive build, and here it is. The aggression is here, the push has arrived. Banelings are being morphed in, but the Banelings are not ready yet. They're about to be though. 8 Banelings for Nikic. Hydra's building up as well, and it looks like, oh, Shameless is taking a little bit too long. The Banelings are now ready, and Nikic should be okay. Stasis goes off, but plenty of Banelings, plenty of Hydras. The Prism is exposed. Oh, nice force fields though. Very nice force fields. Does lay the Hydras, and we do see Shameless, he has to back off. Ooh, saves the Archon. Nice Juggle Micro, nice Prism Micro. Saves the Archon and backs off. And even though Nikic holds, Shameless didn't really lose much. Quickly checking the units lost tab. 1 Zealot. 1 Zealot! 1 Zealot went down, so very careful control out of Shameless. Once he saw the Baneling count, he was like, nah, I'm good. He was like, I'm good. I'm a back up from here. I'm a retreat. Because of that, I do want to give a slight edge to Nikic if he was taking up. We can see, though, where's the Lurker Den? And where is the Infestation Pit? I don't see one. Not yet. Shameless is working towards Storm, and Storm is going to be amazing. Storm is about to finish, and Nikic, he's maxing out. Yeah, he's going to be committing. Nikic, he's committing here, and he's maxing out on Lingbane Hydra. No Lurkers, no Hive Tech, nothing else, just purely the Swarm. And we'll see if Shameless can hold. How many High Templar does he have? 6. Oh, that's a lot of High Templar. Shameless out of position. Shameless out of position. Cannon goes down, shield battery as well. Banelings are rolling in. Where are the Storms? A little bit too late. Banelings, they crash into the High Templar. Ooh, crash into the Zealots, crash into the High Templar when High Templar goes down. Storms are being thrown down, but it looks like it might not be enough. And Nikic, he does break through again. Shameless caught with his pants down. GG gets called, and Nikic takes game number 2, tying it up 1-1. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played again. Shameless caught with his pants down. He was completely out of position because of that. Even though he did respond, it meant that the High Templar were lagging behind. It meant that the Zealots, they went down instantly to the Ling Bane. It meant that the Storms, by the time they arrived, it was too little too late. Shameless had lost too much, and Nikic, he committed to the all-in, committed to the purely Ling Bane Hydra. Did work out in the end. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have a 1-1 score. As a reminder, this is a best of 2, not a best of 3. It is going to be that best of 2. So with that, that does conclude our 3rd match of the night, and now we have to catch up on everything else. Ooh, we do have some updates here. Okay, up next, as we enter round 3, Art versus Protosaver. Protosaver does conclude 1-1, and we have 2 matches available. We have to make a choice. Do we jump into Shameless versus Wayne, or Strange versus Nikic? I mean, we haven't casted Wayne yet. True. You know what? We'll jump on Wayne. We have not casted Wayne yet tonight, so I am thinking about jumping on Wayne here versus Shameless. We have been casting a little Shameless, true, but I do want to spread out and cover as many players as possible, so we'll let them know. So that is our next best of 2 ahead of us. It is going to be another PvZ. It is going to be another PvZ. Just double checking here. Setting up the players, setting up the match. And let's switch our scenes over and catch up on the standings. Let us catch up on the standings and figure out where we are. Okay, from the top, we do have Art finally dropped the map. I just mentioned it, but Art, he went 1-to-1 with a Protosaver even. So finally, RT has dropped him. He's 7-1. Jesus. We are, of course, relying on purely map score here to advance on. It's top 3. So out of our 6 players, top 3 will make it through. And Art, he sits at the top of the standings, followed by Strange with a 4-2 and with Wayne with 3-3. Wayne and Shameless are tied. That also means that this next series for us is that much more important. Wayne and Shameless, they are tied 3-3. And depending on who wins this series or on how it unfolds, we could see a lead for either player. If it's 1-1, then they're still going to be tied. As a reminder, this is a best of 2, so they could still end up tied at the end, at the conclusion of this best of 2. So this is to determine who does make it into that top 3 and who gets brought down to the bottom 4, to the bottom 6 even. Of course, we still have a couple rounds ahead of us. Oh. Sorry, this is the last round. My apologies. This is to decide who does make it through or not. If it's 4-4, then it will most likely, actually, that complicates things. I was gonna say it goes to the head-to-head, but I mean, they are gonna be head-to-head. So we'll see how everything unfolds. Doing the math here, if they go 4-4, if Strange loses a game, if he loses 2. He's going to be 4-4 as well. We could see like a 3-way tie, actually. Strange, he's going to be up against who? Ooh, Strange is going to be up against Wayne. Wait, what? This is not quite correct. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Okay. I did misread this. I got ahead of myself. I was like, oh my god, is this the last round? No, there's 2 rounds. 2 more rounds. So, again, we still have 2 rounds left. What I thought. So, still have some room, some wiggle room here for our players. But, yeah, I'm happy to embrace Wayne versus Shameless. Happy to. Meanwhile, the lobby is made and we are jumping in. Let us get everyone involved. Here we go. Beautiful. I see the chat. Protosaver took him out finally versus Art. Crazy. I guess Art isn't good at PvT, or Protosaver is just the hero we need. He's the Terran Hope. Crazy. But here we go. We are getting into our next series, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our red Zerg player. We have our currently teamless Zerg, and we'll see if he can take a lead and can take a lead in the standings. It is Wayne. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. Here we go. We are settling in. But yeah, do you see, if you're in the chat, Gamba. Get your Gamba going. Predictions open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat. But as I mentioned when I was going over the bracket, I just thought there was only 1 round, but there's 2. There's 2 rounds left. Did just miss see what was happening. Oh, speaking of there being 2 rounds, the drone does move out on the right-hand side. And Wayne, he's going for the proxy hatch. Let's go. He is going for the proxy hatch here towards the natural. Will delay the expansion. As the hatchery is going to be placed. And Shameless is going to be delayed. His expansion is going to be delayed. So this is a hatch into hatch before pool here for Wayne. And this will force a more inefficient start out of Shameless, as he has to pull the boys and he has to chrono out that first Zealot. Does have to chrono that first Zealot. Going for the hatchery, going for the expand. Zealot has arrived, and eventually Shameless can expand. Eventually we'll get there. It's already Wayne trying to disrupt the build here of Shameless. Does cancel in time. Pulls the drone away. Could even go for a gas steal on the main. Oh. Has the Nexus displaced. And from here we can settle it. From here we do have our spawning pool in the way. It's going to be a hatchery into small hatch into pool. Gas is already done, of course, and we can settle in. Now, link speed is going to be much later this game for Wayne because of the delayed gas. But in general, like it will get there, right? Likewise, Shameless also has a delayed economy. He's moving out with his first Zealot, moving out with his first Adept as well, and we'll see what Shameless can accomplish. I mean, Wayne is on 2 bases. So Wayne can delay, he can even try to threaten some of these workers, push towards the natural. It's just the 1 Zealot and 1 Adept though. If he had 2 Adepts, he could achieve a little bit more here. But he pulls away, spots all the Lings. Is going to be the Void Ray opener out of Shameless. We saw in Game 1, Shameless did open up triple Oracle. Game 2 was Void Ray Oracle. We'll see which one he goes for this time. See which one he does embrace. Oh, Wayne going for a very unorthodox third. Uh-oh. Going for the linear third base. I mean, because of this location, it means he can expand. The Adepts are in position to delay the expansion here at the more regular standard third base location. But we'll see if Wayne gets punished for this. It is going to be an Oracle opener out of Shameless. So it looks like triple Oracle into a third. Drone is still alive. The drone sees everything. Wayne, oh my, calm down. The drone's somehow still in here. But the reason why I'm a little bit concerned about this third, and why I'm just concerned for Wayne. This third base is very exposed. It's on the low ground. It is on the low ground. There are multiple avenues of attack as well. It can be very difficult to actually hold on to this location if Shameless were to be aggressive here. Shameless is still in the dark as what's going on, but he will soon find out as the Oracle does move out across the map. Here comes the first, soon to be second Oracle behind this. Shameless in position. Protosaver cannot advance. He cannot advance, but you know what he can do? He can make art bleed. That's what he can do. Let's go. Also, he played well. If you were here at the start of the broadcast, we did actually cover Protosaver versus Shameless, and it was a very intense series. It was just a really good way to start the night. It was a lot of fun. So I do recommend the VODs if you missed out on it. I do recommend. Oh my god, we have a Glaive follow-up? Okay, it is going to be Glaives. I mean, I should have noticed without the Forge. Meanwhile, double Oracle gets into the middle line. 5 drones go down for 1 Oracle. Ooh, 1 Oracle does fall. So not the best trade there for Shameless, as he does bleed out one of his Oracles. But he's following this up with more aggression. Now, checking the vision of Wayne. Did he see the lack of Forge? He did. Without any Forge here, it screams Glaive Adepts. Hydras are amassing. Oh, I'm still concerned, though, for Wayne. Ling Hydra struggles against Glaive Adepts. As you can imagine, they're both light units and Adepts. They can wreak havoc here against both Ling and Hydra. Without Banelings and without Roaches, this could be a difficult defense, depending on how many Adepts there are. Shameless, he's still warping in additional Adepts back at home. He's poking in for now. Clearing up a lot of creep. Does threaten the Shade. Still building up additional Adepts. 8 Hydras on the way. I think the Hydra count is high enough where Wayne can hold his own. Yeah, I think there are more than enough Hydras. We'll see. It's going to be 13 Adepts against 9 Hydras and 7 Lings. Oh, it's going to be close. But the first wave of Adepts, yeah, they get shut down. Yeah, they already get pounced upon. Wayne will chase. You can see Shameless. He wants to try to dive on those Hydras. Does commit. Nice target firing. Does focus on as many Hydras as he can, but Wayne holds. Yeah, Wayne does hold. Meanwhile, Oracle into the main, gets a Revelation off. And I would say that Wayne is in a much better position here. Now, when you go for Glaive Adepts after a third base, you need to get damage done because you're delaying so much. Blink is delayed. The Forge is delayed. Upgrades are delayed. Everything is far later for Shameless, which means Wayne has a massive window of opportunity to be active, to be aggressive, and to break the third. You can see here Shameless knows that, so he's throwing down side defense. We have shield batteries on the way, cannons on the way. Shameless, he's trying to fortify himself, he's trying to get ready for the push. A push that actually is not coming. more cannons as well, Jesus. Like Shameless, he is terrified, and I don't blame him because he is behind. And what does Wayne do? Instead of attacking, takes gases. What does he do? He takes gases, getting his 4th base, getting more overlords, Evo chamber, upgrades, droning. It looks like Wayne is working towards lurker tech. Like, it looks like he's working towards a later game state that we get +1 range on the way. Which means that this defensive setup here by Shameless is kind of a waste of resources. For the time being. I'm also assuming that Wayne is going to drone up to 4 base saturation. We'll see if that's the case. Yeah, he's taking. Infestation bits on the way, he's taking up to lurkers. So Wayne, instead of going for the kill, Wayne is getting further ahead. And Wayne didn't even know what was happening. He didn't even know just how defensive Shameless. He's even got another cannon in the way. Another cannon gets thrown down. Like, again, Shameless, he's terrified of nothing really, of his own shadow. As Wayne is taking, there we go, there's the lurker den, so he's taking into Hive Tech, into lurkers, into Hydra Lurker Viper, ideally. See Colossus production on the way for Shameless, but Shameless, he's stuck on 3 bases. That's all the Wayne has to do, is just contain the Protoss on a 3-base setup and deny the 4th. Only look to deny that 4th base, which Shameless is attempting to expand into. Banes get caught out. There are slow Banes. Not bad. Wayne rotating towards the left-hand side. But you see Wayne attempt to bust into the natural. So far, Shameless, he's defending well. But again, remember, Wayne doesn't have to break Shameless. All Wayne has to do is deny the 4th. That's all he has to do. Deny the 4th expansion. Hive is almost done. Soon to get into the lurker upgrades. Wayne getting another expansion, getting a 5th. So we are still settling in. See Wayne setting up here on the right. Rotating on the left. The lurkers have arrived. The lunkers, papi, they're here. Wayne doesn't quite commit yet. The 4th base is getting there. You can see long distance mining. It's still not quite done. Wayne is knocking down those rocks. Wayne is getting ready for his push. He's waiting for lurker range. Lurker range is halfway done. No need to push in prematurely. Wayne can take his time. Shameless reveals his army on creep. Shameless does not have Storm. Storm is halfway done. He's playing with fire. Lurkers, they sneak in behind the army. Oh. Some brutal losses here for Wayne. We'll lose 1. We'll lose almost 2 lurkers. Meanwhile, Ling Bane towards the right-hand side. Does try to bust in. Nice. Shield battery overcharge. Banelings, they do get into the mineral line. Oh! They get some connections. It's going to be 7-9 probe kills. 9 probes go down as lurkers, they hit the left-hand side. Wayne just dragging Shameless or pulling him apart. Pulling him out his attention. Stalkers, they blink in into lurker range. Oh my god, there is no detection. Yeah, no observer, no oracle, no revelation. The lurkers, they hold their own. The base goes down. 21 probe kills and the 4th nexus. And again, that is all that Wayne needed from here. He can back off, he can defend, he can retreat. And did pull Shameless just out of position, pulled him apart. And now here come the Vipers. Hive is done. The Vipers are on the way. They are the answer to the problem that is the Colossus. They can abduct, they can yoink. And again, all of this, the game state that we're in is because of the Glaive Adepts. It's because of the failed Glaive Adept push. It delayed everything. It forced Shameless to be hyper defensive. It meant that the 4th base was late. And because the 4th base was so late, it's just never going to get there. It's never going to be built. Shameless is just in a really rough position. Another run by. The wall is somewhat a wall. Wayne diving on the Colossus. Likewise, main armies do deflect against each other. Main armies are deflected. More lurkers on the way. That's 7 more lurkers for Wayne. 4th base gets scouted. Is cancelled once again. Shameless, he just wants a 4th. He just wants to expand. goes down. Lanes, they come in from the left-hand side. High Templar a bit exposed. Main army is spotted. Wayne keeps up with this counterattack. How many Vipers? Two. Two Vipers, full of energy. And how many Colossus? Only 3. Now, there is, of course, counterplay. There is the potential for feedbacks. So, it's going to be on Shameless to feedback the Vipers to protect the Colossus. If he doesn't feedback in time, then the Colossus will be shut down. Nidus Storm into the natural does complete. Lurkers, they bust in. And the main army hits the 4th. And GG gets called. Wayne, he just cannot keep up. Sorry, Shameless cannot keep up. And Wayne will take game number 1. Whew. GG. To say Wayne cannot be kept up with, as Wayne does take a lead here in this series, and we'll see if Shameless can bounce back. I believe that Shameless can, but, you know, winding it back, as I mentioned before, a lot of it did come down to the Glavedet follow-up. Did kind of, yeah, it just did not do enough damage. Did not do enough. It traded against some of the Hydras, but didn't do any economic damage, and didn't kill enough Hydras either. So Wayne snowballed out of control. Did snowball out of control. And with that, Wayne now needs one more game here to secure his position over Shameless. If Shameless can take this game, then again, they're still going to be tied in map score. I believe the other rounds are still underway. Specifically, I believe the other match is Strange versus Nikic, still mid-series. And then we'll still have that final round after that. Oh boy. A lot of matches. A lot of matches here tonight. But again, I appreciate that the round robin group stage are best of 2s. I do appreciate it. They are those best of 2s. And here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Amphion, we have the red Zerga player. Currently teamless, deserving to be on a team. He's one of the best Zerg players in all of Europe. It is Wayne. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And if you want this to be tied up in the series, you know what we need? We need to raise our juice boxes. Let's go. Get juiced up. The apple juice gets thrown down, and Shameless will be settling in. Now, we're going to be loading into Amphion. This is one of the most vetoed maps in the map pool, especially in this matchup, so I'm curious to see what our players go for. What I will say, because this map is so unique and the rush distance by air is so short, we have seen players go Muta. We have seen a lot of Zerg players go Muta here in this matchup. Likewise, I've seen a lot of Zerg players go Swarm Host as well. You can definitely abuse this location, get Nidus Swarms up and running, and try to send Locust Waves towards the natural and the 3rd. There are definitely a lot of there's a lot of build potential here for the side of the Zerg. Likewise, from Protoss, because of how the map is structured, they can be a little bit more defendable. Can be difficult for a ground army to really break a defending Protoss. That is also why I'm emphasizing Spire, like Muta play and Swarmhost play, which is designed to try to pull a Protoss player apart by other means other than just a ground-based push. It's also why that's seen a little bit more often. So we'll see what kind of game state we end up in. See where this takes us. So now standard opener out of Shameless. We'll keep an eye out for the tech to see if it's another Stargate or maybe a Twilight Council instead. Did see some people. I saw Thorn in the chat was going through some potential scenarios as to who can and who cannot make it through. The math is being done. Depending on, I mean, I feel like a lot of it, of course, is going to come down to like Strange and Nikic, what happens there. I do think Arts, I think, is securely through the group stage, and Proto-Xaver is not. But when it comes to Strange, Wayne, Shameless, and Nikic, I mean, there's still potential for them to kind of trade against each other and for some to rise and others to fall. So we'll see. We'll see how things lie after this round. After this match. as it is going to be the Stargate for Shameless. Once again, Stargate opener. Meanwhile, Link Scout from Wayne will slip in. We'll get confirmation of what's going on. Does head towards the main. And we'll get a full scout. Oh, I say that. Jeez. Okay, they will. They do get out of the mineral line. And we'll get eyes on the Stargate. There we go. They get eyes on Stargate. They get eyes on the initial Oracle opener. So Wayne is fully aware of what's going on. At least initially. Likewise, back at home, happily droning, getting a third base up and running as well. Wayne just settling down. Settling in. That is a lot of links, though. That is 6 extra links on the way. So Wayne is going to have quite a robust army to work with. Yeah, with all these links, he's moving out. His goal is to deny the third. To try and deny the third base. As Wayne does pull the trigger. Meanwhile, Oracle towards the left-hand side, headed towards the main. As one drone goes down, but just the one. Lings, they hit the third. They get a pseudo surround here on one adept. One adept falls. And where's the second Oracle? There we go. Second Oracle's on the way. Will defend, but not without losing the pylon. And pylon goes down as well. Nice pickups here by Wayne. Doesn't deny the third, doesn't delay it, but he does kill an adept, kills a pylon. Not bad. Not bad here for Wayne as he backs off. Once again, do you see what I see? I see a Twilight Council, and oh, this time with a Forge. This time, it is not Glaive Adept. So, Shameless, he is going to be kind of deviating into a different build. That's a fast lair out of Wayne. Jesus. Very fast lair here from Wayne. Roach Warden on the way. Actually, I say fast lair. It was a 4-minute 30 lair timing. I was curious if it was going to be rushing into Hydras again, but no, it's going to be into Roach production. So we have our tech of choice. Game 1, Wayne went Lingbane Hydra into Lurker. This time, Roach play. It is going to be Roaches. Adepts, they clear up some of these tumors. Maintaining their position. Eva Champion gets thrown down. That tells us that Wayne is planning to go for some upgrades and go for a bit of a later game. Gases are being taken as well. And we're settling in. Just going to be settling into a longer game state here. Oracles, they get 2 drone kills. Not bad. Shameless getting to +1 blink. No charge. And so far, so good. See Wayne rushing into Roach speed to +1. It's going to be a Roach heavy composition from the Zerg. At least for now. Now this can lead into a Hydra Lurker tech. It can still lead into a Spire. See what he goes for. We have the second Oracle hitting the mineral line. Oh, the transfuse! 3 drone kills. Shameless backs up. Hasn't lost any Oracles yet. And there it is. We have our confirmation of the next step. It is Hydra. So it's going to be Roach into Hydra from Wayne. Going for a Roach Hydra composition, potentially into Lurkers, depending on whether or not Wayne decides to drone. He could decide to max out on a 3-base economy instead. As Wayne is on 6 drones. Shameless moving out, is being active. Oh, wait, how many gateways? 7, soon to be 8. 3-base all in. Let's go. Okay, Shameless, he does not take his gases. He is setting up for an expansion, but without gases, with a would-be 8th gateway, it's an 8k 3-base all in out of Shameless. Yeah, hyper aggressive, hyper committed. Pylon is now done. Show us that gateway. Roaches are falling. And Shameless is getting ground. Dives on the Ravager. Ravager gets picked off. The Bile, ooh, does connect. Oh, that's 2 Stalkers falling. Bit of miscontrol out of Shameless. Has to pull back. There's that proxy gateway. Was delayed. Shameless, who was fixated on the fight. So this is going to be delayed. And Shameless, he has to keep going. He has to keep trading. Pushing up a ramp, though. Into a choke point. Is trading well, but he has to keep going. He cannot give Wayne more time. Wayne is droning. Wayne is getting into Hydra production. Shameless does take another expansion behind this, but Shameless is committed. He needs more damage. Picks off the Lings. Setting up more stasis traps. He needs to pick off Roaches. Hydras are revealed. Oof. Shameless, he blinks away. Blink now on cooldown. Stalkers are getting picked off. Oh, this is not the fight. Yeah, brutal engage here from Shameless. Wayne, he shuts this down. Picks off so many Stalkers. And remember, it's just pure Stalker. Like, it's an all-in. Like, sure, Shameless is expanding, but he has no tech. He has no Storm. He has no Colossus. He has no Immortals. He has no Disruptor. No nothing else behind this. It's just purely Gateway units, purely Stalker. And he needs to get more done. Decent stasis goes off. Decent stasis trap. But the stasis does connect. Ooh. But Stalkers are getting low. They're getting very low here. And Wayne is held. At this point, he has held. And where do we go from here? Like, there's no other plan for Shameless. The pylon goes down, depowers the gateway, no more reinforcements. Cells are folding as well, there's no charge. And Wayne, he breaks free. He's getting ready for a counterattack. We have Drop Lords on the way for a Doom Drop into the main. Oracles, they hit the fourth. Wayne, he can build up and he can push out. Charge now begins for Shameless, but it's so late. And here comes the Doom Drop. Overload speed is done. Wayne, he has eyes on the main army. Rocks are being knocked down. So Shameless has eyes on the main army. If Shameless can catch the Dropper Lords, but I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, the Dropper Lords, they load up. They're headed for the main. Shameless catching reinforcements. I mean, good pickoffs. Good trades here for Shameless. Picks off a couple of roaches. Does catch Wayne a little bit out of position here. But here comes the drop. Going for either the mineral line or the production or both. Shameless, he has to send it. Oh, the contamination on +2. No shot. +2 can be denied. Can be. The Forge is being targeted for a moment. Meanwhile, Wayne focusing on the main fight. Wayne, he can be overwhelmed though. Charge finishing up. Roach Hydra going down. Yeah, +2. It looks like it's just barely going to finish. The Forge barely alive. Shameless, he has to commit. The boys are being pulled. Can Shameless do this? Can he break his opponent? Can he break Wayne? More Stalkers come in. Shameless is all in, but there's not much of them to defend. Rotates around. Picking off some Overlords. Shameless is supply blocked. +2 did finish. And Shameless, he does overpower that ground army. Wayne has to play it slow. There we go, the boys are being pulled. Tanking some shots. Oof. And Shameless, he's losing momentum. Yeah, Stalkers are falling. Drop Lords coming back. And these are decent trades for Shameless, but as time goes on, Wayne, he's replacing this army. He's still replenishing, making more Lings, more Hydras. Main base still under fire. And Shameless, he's run out of steam. Yeah, he's run out of steam, running out of units. Stalkers are falling left and right. Wayne holds. Wayne does hold. He shuts down the army. Again, the execution of the 3-base all-in, it was a little bit lacking there. Of the 8-gate all-in, I should say. GG gets called, and Wayne will take the series 2-0. Will not quite advance on, but does secure himself here in this group. GG. Does secure himself over Shameless, but there's still another round, and we could still bounce back. For now, congratulations to Wayne. He will take it 2-0, and let's head on over to the bracket to figure out what exactly is going on. Oh boy. Let us go. And what exactly is our next series as well is what I want to find out. Okay. Do we have any updates here on the Wikipedia? We... not too much. It looks like Strange and Nickage are still mid-series. Double checking here. Yes, Strange and Nickage, they are still mid-series. I do not yet know the result here of these two, so they're still facing off in that second last round. But we have another round ahead of us. You can see here on your screen, we have Wayne versus Strange, we have Proto Xavier versus Nickage, and Art versus Shameless. Oh boy. We still have another round ahead of us. And what do we want to cast? We have options. We could either cast Wayne versus Strange or Art versus Shameless. Which would be more impactful here? I mean, it kind of also depends on... Oh, they just finished. They just wrapped up. They just finished up their series. Strange versus Nikic, I believe, just concluded. Just waiting for those updates. Or we could even jump in mid-series. True. If that was only game 1. That must have been game 2. Yeah. They did wrap up. So, we have the 5th round getting ready for us. Just trying to figure out what the scoreline was. And what did occur. But for the most part, our choice is either Wayne versus Strange or Art versus Shameless. I think Wayne Strange makes the most sense. We could avoid the mirror matchup, but I haven't casted Art today. True. I feel like I should. I feel like Art is worth casting. Like I feel bad for missing him because he's been doing so well, and we have not casted him at all. So it would make sense to give him some love and to cover Art versus Shameless. But I do think that Wayne versus Strange can be quite competitive as a series. It's a tough call to make. It is a tough call, for sure. I think there's probably a little bit more. There's probably a little bit more weight behind Strange versus Wayne. So I'm just trying to refresh and catch up. Wayne versus Strange. I'll jump into whichever lobby's made. Whichever lobby comes first. I guess for now we're going to be going on a short break. For now we're going to be going on a short break, and when we come back we will have our next series. Again, it's either going to be Art versus Shameless or it's going to be Wayne versus Strange. Yet to be determined. We'll find out soon. For now, take a moment to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, and we'll be back with our final series of the night. See you soon. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We are settling into our final round of the evening, our final series, our final PvP. Let's go. Let's jump on in. As spawning in the bottom right corner of Oceanborn, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. Pressure is on. It is Shameless. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. He has been wreaking havoc the entire group, and we have not casted him yet tonight. So finally, we can feature the one, the only, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Art. Let's go. We have our PvP. We have the final series of the night. Now, I had to make a tough choice. It was either this PvP or Strange versus Wayne. We have done the math, and unfortunately, it looks like we have our secured 3 players advancing on. Technically, these 3 players, they can still be shuffled around when it comes to their placement in the group. That is true. When it comes to their seeding, so seeding can be influenced, but outside of that, I believe it's going to be Art, Strange, and Wayne advancing on, and Shameless, Nikic, and Protozaver will not be able to make it out of the group. But I did want to feature Art. I did want to feature Art at least because Art has been doing so well here today, and it feels like a crime that we have not casted him. So I want to see some Art. Show me what you got. I'm here to experience Art, and we'll see if he's able to have a dominant showing here like he has done so off stream up against Shameless. You know, maybe he's shy. You know, maybe if someone's watching, maybe that's where he slips up. It's possible. It's possible. Could be camera shy. We're about to find out. For now, 2-gate opener. It's going to be a 2-gate opener out of Art. Likewise, Shameless just going for a 2-gate opener as well. So far, mirrored builds. We can settle in. Can settle in. Also, my apologies, but predictions are open. I think by now they would have already been closed, but get your gamma going while you can, whilst you could. Also, I have to make a decision as well if I should sleep. I should sleep after this, but I just woke up, so it's gonna be a rough day of casting. Not gonna lie. We have 4 events, so I guess we have back-to-back casts. We have Fire Cup right now, of course. That's gonna be followed by KSL. KSL is in how many hours? It's gonna be in around 9 hours time, or 8.5 hours from this message, I believe. So in 8.5 hours, we have KSL. 8 hours after that, we have a Lima League. And then 24 hours from now, or less than 24 hours at this point, we have Group B of Fire Cup. So, a lot of things to cast. A lot of tournaments. So Fire Cup into KSL, into a Lima League, into Fire Cup, into STC. From MSO, of course, remember, MSO was earlier today as well, or last night, technically. So, very intense weekend for us. Very intense. I mean, you know, going back to our roots here, we used to cast 2-3 times a day more regularly. During the off-season, we've been, you know, being a little bit lazier. We've been taking our time, taking some days off here and there, sometimes just 1 cast a day. Now we're back. Now we're back to non-stop casting. Let's go. Let's go. As hallucinations are being sent out. Do you have hallucination scout for the main? Likewise, hallucination scouts here across the map from Art as well. Both players are going to read what's going on. It is going to be a Twilight Council opener out of Art. Likewise, Twilight Council out of Shameless as well. It's going to be Blink. Blink from both sides. Mirrored builds. For now. We are mirroring each other. Short nap then. I guess I probably should. The problem is, I'll be honest, the problem with having a nap before KSL, I should, but I literally just woke up before this cast, so I'm pretty awake. I had a nap after MSO. I had like a 3 to 4 hour nap. So I'll probably stay up and like do some work, like work on some VODs, like work on some Yeah, so I'll probably work on the MSO VOD, actually. I'll work on the MSO VOD. Maybe get some breakfast. Breakfast would be good. And then I'll have a short nap. I'll try my best to nap. It's gonna be necessary. It's gonna be like accumulating like fatigue if I don't, right? Like if I don't nap before KSL, I'm gonna be dead for a Lima League. And for Fire Cup, you know, like the effects are gonna be felt later on tonight if I don't nap. So I'll do my best. As we see, Shameless moving out initially here does have, of course, Blink, so does his opponents. We have some Sentries with Force Fields. We do have a Shield Battery and an Overcharge here for Art, so Art should be fine. He should be able to defend. Meanwhile, really, it's a distraction. Shameless trying to drag the attention of Art towards the third base, meanwhile we have Adepts threading a shade into the natural. But Art is ready, Art is in position. Oh, does blink away in time, doesn't lose the Stalker yet. Sentry under fire. One sentry goes down. Meanwhile, Adepts, they shade into the main. They shade into the main base instead. They get one, they get two, they get almost 3 probe kills. There we go, 3 probes go down, and Shameless backs up. So 3 probe kills. Shameless does take an economic lead. And Shameless is taking into Charge Lots and Archons. Meanwhile, Art himself is taking likewise into Immortals and Charge Lots instead. No Archon production out of Art. Okay. You have my attention. No Archons. But now moving forward, threatening the main army. Shameless getting a second Temple Archives. Don't think he realized he already threw down the first. Dives on the main army. Oh, bit of miscontrol. Shameless. Oh, that's a kill? Oh, no. Good. The pressure setting in here. Shameless miscontrol kills his own Stalker. That was a kill, not a cancel on the Nexus. That is a lot of money down the drain. A lot of minerals down the drain there for Shameless. At the same time, Adept counterattack, 5 probe kills. Ay. Art, he's popping off. He's popping off. On top of that, Shameless, he makes a second Temple Archives. So, double the Temple Archives, and Art has momentum. Is moving out. Clearly, time to get breakfast at Macca's. Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, Macca's breakfast is something else. It does hit different. I'll probably make some ramen, make some noodles. As Charge Lots, they collapse in, they get on top of some of these sentries. There's that one Archon putting in a lot of work for Shameless, but reinforcements are on the way. Art's going for a Dark Shrine behind this. That's another denial of the expansion. That's a cancel this time, not a kill. Is the sleep-deprived light better? I'm not Björn. You have players like Björn and Clem, they can like pop off and win tournaments off of like 1 hour sleep. That's not me, Papi. I need my sleep. As Charge Lots, they collapse in, they shut down the shield battery, and Art, he's overwhelming. He's overwhelming the army here of Shameless. Too many mistakes too quickly. Things are just overwhelming out of control, and GG gets called. Art, he does pop off. He takes game number 1. GG. Oh my god. Again, very solid play out of Art. Meanwhile, Shameless, we saw one too many mistakes over and over again there from Shameless. Whether it came to losing his expansion, whether it came to killing some of his own units, whether it came to that second Temple Archives as well. These are mistakes we do not expect out of Shameless. We don't expect these mistakes, so that was very surprising to me. It was very surprising, but it could be a stamina thing, right? I don't know how often Shameless is one to play series after series after series after series, 5 best of 2s back to back to back to back. That is definitely a factor coming into play here in this round robin group stage. And towards the end of the group, that fatigue may be setting in. Especially if he didn't nap beforehand. Esther Shameless, did he nap? Does he need more juice? Get this man some apples. Someone send him some apples. We need to make the juice. Oh no. But here we go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Crimson Court, we have the Red Protoss player. The Red Protoss representing Team Little Fairy down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and tie things up 1-1. It is a Shameless. He's so shameless. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Platinum Heroes. It is Art. And again, Art, he has been popping off here tonight. He has only dropped a map to the Terran of all players, a more unknown Terran of Proto. God. Keep forgetting his name. Proto-Zaver. Ah. Proto-Zaver even. That's it. That's what I was saying. Proto-Zaver. But yeah, the only player to take a map off of Art was Proto-Zaver, a more unknown Terran player. So very impressive by the Terran. But likewise, even more impressive by Art for having a performance this strong. And can he keep it up? Can he take another win here and get the 2-0? For now, Art. Okay, there we go. He's going for his second gateway. So 2 gate opener out of Art. Likewise, 2 gate opener out of Shameless as well. So far, so good. So far, so good. I want food. I might save my ramen, actually. We'll see. We shall see. But yeah, most likely we'll be working on Master Swan Open VODs, on Code for Giants Cup thumbnails as well afterwards. That'll be the plan for myself. Will be the plan as we enter the weekend. Oh, again, this is also a PSA. Alima League, there are 2 Alima Leagues this week. There's 2 Alima Leagues this week, and it is, of course, in less than 24 hours. The reason for that is because next week's Alima League is rescheduled to this week. There's no time next week, I believe. CranKy is going to be unavailable, and CranKy is, of course, the main Korean caster. So to accommodate for that, that is why we do have 2 Alima Leagues this week instead. For those that are curious. And again, if you've been enjoying Alima League, or if you haven't been able to watch it live, then I do recommend checking out our YouTube channel. Both Alima League 229 and 230 are on our YouTube channel as we speak. It's all there. It's all uploaded. So you can check it out if you wish. Otherwise, we are going to be expanding. We're going to be embracing Game 2 here. Shameless setting up his own natural. Likewise, so is Art. Both players are expanding. And we'll see where we tech from here. Do we go for a Twilight Council, Stargate, or Robo? I mean, if it was a Stargate, we would have already seen one by now. True. Would have seen a Stargate already. So I'm leaning towards, once again, Blink. Hallucinations being sent out. There is a Twilight Council for Shameless working towards Blink. And Art should be doing the same. There we go. Blink versus Blink. Hallucination will confirm. Art likewise moving out, getting in position. Looking to threaten the natural. And with additional Stalkers, Art, he can actually get some damage done here. And forces back the Stalker. Doesn't have a force field available, but he can go for the Pylon. And the Pylon is going to go down. Nice pick off here by Art. Does threaten the army. Kills the Pylon and backs up. Backs up with the Sentry. Blink is now starting. And Shameless even getting supply block for a moment there. Now that there are extra warp ins, Art, he should respect this army, should get out of here before he gets force fielded. There we go. Pulls away. Art pulls away. Building up more Stalkers. Blink is being researched. Squeeze the apples. Yeah. Needs to make his... There it is. Oh, look at it. There's the apple juice. Ah. Beautiful. The only thing we have is grapes. True, true. Needs to settle for some grape juice instead. That's all we have. Uh-huh. Why did apple juice become a meme? Oh, yeah, yeah. There is a delay on stream, but because of this. Because of... Every single time Shameless plays, he throws down the juice. It's what empowers him. The apple juice. Even here, you can... it's everywhere. Apple juice under the Nexus. Under the first Pylon. Might be under this Nexus as well, for all we know. It's all powered by the apple juice. But here we go. Art is going to be pushing. Once again, we'll threaten the third. Blink is done for both players. Cancel the pylon. Artie pulls away. Getting his own third. Going for the linear third base as opposed to Shameless getting the triangular third. Art's third is much more safer. It's much more secure as you have to knock down rocks or blink over the wall to gain access to this area. Ooh, as Adepts say, shade into the natural. They get 3. They get almost 4. 3 probes. 3 probes go down. Artie pushes in. Up. Gets a sentry. Stalker as well. Another trading 2 for 2. But the sentry vehicles are key here for Art. As he does retreat. Oh my god, as Art, he does punish, getting another Stalker. Intense trades here between our players, but again, Shameless did lose extra sentries. Behind this, we do see Shameless taking into charge, into +1, and +1 also on the way for Art, but into Immortal production instead. So Art is going for a more Immortal heavy composition. Instead, Shameless going for a more Gateway heavy composition with charge lots. Oh, meanwhile, it's going to be Immortal into Glaive Adepts. Okay, very committed here by Art. Glaive Adepts, they don't scale well into a longer game state, but they do well. Let's see what I said there. But they do well against charge lots. Specifically, against charge lots, they also do well just locking down an army. It's going to be very committed by Art. He's setting up for a 3-ways push. Is setting up. Extra gateways on the way, extra warpins as well. Art will soon push, and it's going to be a tough hold for Shameless. As Hallucination does dip in. Getting a full scout. Shameless getting a 4th. Again, Shameless, he's investing into what? Into his economy. He's investing into his economy. Meanwhile, Art, less so. Because that is 4 extra gateways on the way. That's a lot of gateways. That's going to be, what, like a 9-gate setup? Jesus. And we're waiting for those Adepts. War Prism's on the way. With the War Prism, we can reinforce across the map. And Art, he will soon pull the trigger. He will soon send everything across the map. And Shameless, can he hold? I feel like a lot of this is going to come down to the Archons. Now, Archons, they do amazingly when it comes to trading against the units like Zelts and like Adepts as well. Army is spotted. Archons are ready. And can Shameless hold? Where's that War Prism? War Prism coming in from behind. We do need an extra wave of Warpins. There we go. Reinforcements on the way. Getting into Stalkers. Nice force fields here, but they are going to be shut down by the Archon. And Shameless, he does die with the Prism. Prism goes down. And no more reinforcements. No more War Prism here for Art. But he may have too much anyway. Yeah, the Immortals, they break through. 1 Immortal goes down. 2nd Immortal as well. There's 1 Immortal left. Art, he's running out of steam. He's running out of army. He's being forced back. He has to retreat. Again, if he had the War Prism, he could keep going. But the Prism is still being rebuilt. It's still on the way. Shameless holds. Whew. Shameless, he does hold on. Instead, Art, he does rotate. Goes for the mineral line. Gets 2 probes, rotates back around. Adepts, they get into, oh my god, they get into the 4th. 5 probe kills. Remember, Art does not have a 4th of his own. He is all in. Art is all in at this point. Gets the Observer. Archon's still low energy. Low shields, I should say. No shield battery, no overcharge. And Art, he has to blink back. Observer goes down. We have more reinforcements. Does Art have enough? It looks like he barely does. There is a shield battery. There's an overcharge. That overcharge is going to be necessary to hold. God, but there are just so many Adepts. Nice spread here by Art, avoiding splash damage. 1 Archon finally goes down. And the 2nd Archon, there's the overcharge. Oh my god, barely keeps it alive. The Archon lives. And the overcharge just in time. And Art, he's running out of steam. He's running out of units, going for a Desperation Dark Shrine. Went behind. And now he takes the 4th. Art, he realizes he cannot break Shameless. He barely cannot. If he had not lost that first War Prism, I do think he could have, though. Pokes in, is getting caught out. Shameless will clean this up. At the same time, though, Adepts, they shade into the 3rd. They get 5 more probes. Ooh, but that's a brutal loss. The Immortal! The Immortal goes down. And now Art, he's in trouble. What is Art's army looking like? This is his army. 0 Archons, 0 Immortals. +2 is finishing up for Shameless, and Shameless is getting ready for his own counterattack. He's getting ready to punish. To punish Art for the all-in. The all-in that failed. Shameless, he's ahead in upgrades, he's ahead in army, he's ahead in the composition of the army as well. With plenty of Archons and now an Immortal. That's more than what I can say for Art. Knocks down the rocks and he's going for the 3rd. You see shield batteries are on the way. 3 shield batteries here for Art. DT has arrived. The DTs are getting a lot of damage. They're killing probes across the map. So many probes are falling. No shot. But there's an observer with the main army. So the main army can overwhelm. Bust into the mineral line, chasing down the main force here as well. The Stalkers, the Adepts. DTs are wreaking havoc. They just eviscerate the economy here of Shameless. But it's all about the main army. You know, that's what matters here. Shameless, his main army is uncontested. There's the overcharge. Overcharge runs out. Archons, they stutter step forward. And as long as Shameless keeps that observer alive, he should be fine. He should be fine. As he breaks through, shuts down the force field, busts into the main, juggling in. The final Immortal. He gets chased down. And there's just too much. GG gets called, and Shameless will be the 2nd player to take a map off of Art. GG. GG, well played. Shameless does tie things up 1-1. Again, it was a very intense all-in, but very nice unit control when it came to the Archons. The Archons, they were able to hold their own, but I do think the game-winning move for Shameless was sniping the War Prism. He sniped the War Prism twice. Without that Prism, again, there was no reinforcements. RT lost a lot of momentum, he lost a lot of steam, and he just ran out of it towards the end there. And was overwhelmed himself. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Shameless. And with that, I believe, does that conclude our group? Does that wrap up the group stage? Just trying to catch up here with all these results. It looks like Proto Xaver versus Nikic is still ongoing. Strange towards Wayne. Very impressive. Strange takes down Wayne 2-0. Oh my god. But we are still waiting for Proto Xaver versus Nikic to wrap up as well, as they're mid-series. They are mid-series. But that should be us wrapping up. We should be wrapping up here as we head on over to the Wikipedia page. !B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves. We do get a gander here. We can have a look here at the group. Strange and Art, the top of the group here with an 8-2 scoreline. Now, I believe they are tied in the map score. That is true. But if you look at the head-to-head, Art did take down Strange 2-0. So Art took down Strange 2-0. So Art, he should be the number 1. Art should be number 1. Strange would be number 2. And I believe Wayne is going to be number 3. So these 3 players will make it through. And I do think that this has to be recalibrated when it comes to who's number 1 and who's number 2. Just because I believe it comes down to head-to-head. So Art will still maintain that first place. If Shameless had 2-0'd, then Strange would have gotten first place instead. So that is going to be the conclusion of the group stage. Meanwhile, I mean, shout out to Shameless, Nikic, and Proto Xaver. Nikic did struggle a little bit. Proto Xaver was able to be one of the only players to take a map off of Art. So GG, well played. It was a great debut as well. I've never casted him before, but he had a very aggressive style. Likewise, Shameless came close. Shameless came very close to making it out of the group stage as well, but barely did not edge it out. Very close. And very close scoreline with Wayne. Wayne ended 5-5. Shameless ended 4-6. You know, one more win and they would have been tied, and I mean, still would have gone the way of Wayne because Wayne did win head-to-head, but still very close. Very close between Shameless and Wayne. GG, well played. Tomorrow, in 21 hours' time, we have Group B. You can see here we have UED Soldier, Replicant, Nicorite, Young Yakov, Milky Cow, and GG Machine. My eyes are mainly going to be on Nickrat and Young Yakov. I do rate them both very highly to make it out of the group. When it comes to third place, I think I do rate GG Machine slightly higher than some of these other players, but Milky Cow is really unpredictable. I love casting Milky Cow. He's very aggressive, very cheesy, unpredictable. Milky Cow is just a wild player. Hopefully I can cast some Milky Cow next tomorrow. What's the first round actually? Oh, we know what we want. 100%. I just mentioned who's the two to make it through. 100% Young Yakov and Nickrat. They are the favorites to make it out of the group, and they're facing off in the first round. So we have to cast that. So in 21 hours time, Young Yakov versus Nickrat is going to be on this channel. So yeah, make sure to tune in. Make sure to tune into Group B. And then in 2 days, we have the playoffs. We have the playoff bracket, the quarterfinals, semis, and the grand finals as well. Now, if you are unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft, I did just mention that we have 2 more casts in between Fire Grow Cup. So we got a lot of casting, a lot of casting to do. I mentioned before, but quickly going over it. In 8 hours time, we're going to be live here on this channel with the KSL if I don't pass out. So I'm going to try and nap before KSL and get a couple of hours of sleep, and then hopefully be rejuvenated to go into the Korean StarCraft League. And in how many hours? In 16 hours time from this message, we're going to be live with Alima League. Alima League is going to be in 16 hours. KSL is in 8 hours. And then, of course, we have day 2 of Fire Grow Cup in 21 hours. So three more casts in the next 24 hours. Let's go. Let's go. Wish me the best. I'm gonna try and, you know, I'm gonna try and like stay rested. I'm gonna try and rest up for it all, and have plenty of food, and, you know, be energized for all the casting that we have to do this weekend. It's going to be an intense couple of days. Bit of a PSA as well. Again, Alima League will not be on Twitch. We cast Alima League on Chijijik instead. That is the Korean streaming platform. If you missed out on the last 2 weeks of Alima League, it's all on YouTube. It is all on YouTube. Do check it out if you wish. If you want to tune into some Alima League, it is all uploaded there. If you wish, if you want that. It does take us a couple of days. It takes us like 2 or 3 days to upload Alima League to YouTube, just because we have to render every single VOD. It is a time-consuming process, but again, like 2 to 3 days is usually what it takes to get all that going. So do check it out. Otherwise, hope you've all been enjoying yourselves. Hope you'll enjoy yourselves. All right, SEL, the StarCraft Evolution League. We will not be casting the full championship live. We're going to be casting it via replays. I'm going to be casting it via replays instead, so that is a bit of a heads up. Throughout the course of the week, we will be covering StarCraft Evolution, and I might be bringing and dragging Yaku on to cast as well. That may be the plan. Also, I just realized, because we're casting so much this week, it may actually take a little bit longer to upload Alima League VODs, because obviously I can't render while I'm casting. So that is a bit of something to bear in mind as well, unfortunately. Something to bear in mind. Otherwise, we are wrapping up here. And again, if you want to support this event, shout out to MindleVK. MindleVK, he is a Protoss player, but he has been he used to be a very active competitor. He still does compete, but nowadays he's been becoming more of a streamer, and he's been organizing his own events. You know, already he's been hosting Fire Grow Cup 3 times. This is the 4th edition of Fire Grow Cup. It is a monthly tournament. There are open qualifiers, there are invites, and yeah, it's just a great way to support the region, to support the more CIS region as well. So much love to MindleVK, and much love to all of our competitors here tonight. Otherwise, we are done. We are done for the time being. I'm probably going to go get some breakfast. I'm probably going to go work on some VODs, and then I'll try to get some sleep. Try to get some sleep before KSL. That is the plan. Otherwise, just catching up. Standings are rating strange of art because he went 4-1-0 in series instead of 3-0-2. Oh, we'll have to look into it. Confused about the all good. But yeah, sorry, this was a best of 2, not a best of 3. Best of 2. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. Again, if you want some more StarCraft, we're going to be live all weekend here on the channel and over on Shijik as well. Otherwise, we do appreciate the support, and we'll see you guys in 8 hours time. We'll see you guys in 8 hours. Enjoy yourselves. When it comes to other content that's happening over on Twitch, we're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid, so give them some love, give them some support, and yeah, spread the love here to some of these other streamers. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao. Ciao. Hasta luego. Also, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. Follow us everywhere. See you next time.